Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pro Hubs Finals Pro League. It's EU Playday number 5. My name is Artie. I'm here with Jerry, the Music Man. It's good to see you, my friend.
I love that emphasis on music. Yes, it's great to be here. I've got more music on show than usual today. I've been practicing for a gig this weekend, which means I won't be here for the final day of the season, which is coming up on Saturday. So I'm going to have to hand that over to you. But we've still got our penultimate day today, EU Playday 5. Let's get it.
Absolutely. We have a lot of incredible stuff that's on the board today for our contestants. We're going to be starting off here, of course, with Group A. Today, that's going to be made up by Makeshift, Bad Wi-Fi, Always Hungry, and the Goats, who are going to be continuing to most likely reign terror on this group as, well, I feel like we've seen a very similar matchup of this before. I mean, hey, the groups are randomly generated, but I got to say, for the Goats to kind of come back again, probably going to be a terrifying day for Makeshift, Bad Wi-Fi, and Always Hungry.
Yeah, there's a clear favourite here, and you can see based on the standings, here are the teams currently highlighted in this group that we're about to see for the next 5 maps or so. The Goats way out in front of the rest, but still trailing behind Amers. So this is definitely a chance for the Goats to try and nab that top spot if they can string together a good run of first place finishes. Always Hungry, sort of teetering on the edge there of safety. That 8th place spot is the real crucial one in this stage. You don't want to be anywhere lower than that, or you won't be progressing to the regional playoffs. So Makeshift and Bad Wi-Fi, this is starting to represent one of their last chances to really get in amongst it.
Exactly. I mean, you nailed that. You nailed it right on the head, right? So for the goats, like for them, they're competing with a completely different group. They're playing a completely different game than everybody else in this group today. For bad Wi-Fi, they have a chance, right? They have been trying to come together and really put their heads on a spinning wheel, figure out, all right, hey, what's been working, what has been working, and to be honest, it hasn't all been working. So for bad
No.
Wi-Fi coming in today, it's like, hey, you know what? They've made it this far, and they have had phenomenal performances for the fact that they've come through the open qualifiers and all that. But I think that up against Makeshift, it's really going to be just a battle between these two, right? As always, Hungry fights for retaining their safety, like you said. I'm really curious to see if bad Wi-Fi is going to be trying to fully grief out Makeshift because those are where the points are going to matter the most for them.
Yeah, this is the part of the season where the macro outside of the server really starts to matter quite a lot. And sometimes things don't play out exactly how you expect. We've seen, for instance, last week, bad Wi-Fi really turn a corner and start being a bit more strategic in the way they tackle their games, and they were rewarded for it. If they can continue that momentum, then they might have a chance, but they are playing with a last-minute sub today, so it's always like they're climbing an uphill battle. Either way, we're tuning in here with Makeshift and Always Hungry, those two middle-of-the-pack teams here. Jurgen finding Alone in Paris for the opener, and Yoip looks like he had a chance there to get a kill, but unfortunately, Velo manages to chase him down after that hook and finish him off. Sugi follows up with a kill to Jurgen, leaving only one on the side of Always Hungry, and he's taken out. Bronx, Feld, Makeshift win that first battle.
Jerry, I'm not going to lie to you. I took a sip of my coffee, and as soon as I was done, everybody in the arena was dead.
That's the finals.
I love that. I mean, already we're starting off super strong. Both teams have started gating their respective vaults into their respective cash outs. We're going to see Makeshift holding it out for cash out B. Over on Sector 6, we've got the Goats getting started with a very nice plug on A. They will have a very easy time defending this. And given the Goats' stature in the group today, I'm going to be curious to see if they will actually get challenged here. And it does look like Always Hungry is on the horizon, looking for their opportunity to jump over as, well, Sector 6 is already in shambles.
I'm just looking at bad Wi-Fi and trying to work out how to say their third team player. I'm not French, and I will butcher it. So whenever it comes up, just I apologize in advance. But for the time being, I'm going to actively avoid it. Treason finds a pick onto Bronx before he can even approach the building. That's the value of the pike there. Sending Bronx again across now to try and get that closed down. He gets the gateway up. His whole team come through. There's trades either direction. The shots aren't landing. They're not working out for Palmer here. He's being forced back into a corner. And now, Always Hungry. They only have Carnifex to try and pin down. It's not looking great for him, is it?
No, I mean, this is super, super surprising. A great push, just given the fact that they were able to get that early pick. But for Carney, he knows how to kite. He's going to be running all the way around, trying to figure out if he can pull some heat off of the returning teammates. But for now, he did survive. Looks like he played the horror game correctly. Treason's going to be padding over, and 1 HP. He's able to survive. Carney tries to heal him up, but most of those shots miss. The butt over on the winch fight. It will be Palma who gets the upper hand onto Jurgen here. Yoip finally finishes out Carnifex. Gets rezzed immediately thanks to the paddles. Treason full HP. Going to be going in, trying to get the chow on the Bronx.
This is a good 3v2 situation the Goats have found themselves in, but right now, Always Hungry are playing the runaround game. They're kiting away. He wastes no time on trying to get on that steal, and he does so on top of the box, but that jump pad forces him off it. Another DMAT now drops it one more time. Treason trying to stick this, but the winch, the newly res heavy, comes back in on, and Jurgen finds him. I think they've done just about enough here, Always Hungry. They've fended off that resurgent Goats side, who really looked like they might have had a chance there on the retake. That is a good first point going away, the pink squad.
They truly are Always Hungry. I mean, we said at the beginning, hey, Goats are going to be terrorizing this lobby, but Always Hungry, they are proving why they are working their way up that scoreboard. We're going to jump back over. It does look like on the other side of things, bad Wi-Fi made it away with the first cash out. So Makeshift, they need to make up for this here and try to make sure that Vault 3 goes their way. Already with the gateway possibly set up over to C now. They've got a nice double pass set up. But the Goats, well, they're here to wreak havoc as well.
Oh, they're set up, and they don't deny the plug. And they actually take quite a lot of damage for it here, the Goats. A little bit troublesome for them as Velo finds Palmer. That's the heavy battle won yet again by Velo. Seems to be having Palmer's number today. Treason gets his teammate back up and finds a nice angle with that goo head glitch, or reverse head glitch, to take down Alone in Paris. Velo once again kills Palmer. He just keeps winning that heavy duel. But now he's in a 1 versus 1 against Treason. That pike's going to lay into him. Even at close range, you can spam that thing and barrel stuffs Velo to death. Makeshift get back on, or rather, sorry. Well, Makeshift get back on the respawn screen, I should say.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to be jumping right back over there. And on Always Hungry Bronx, he just double-barreled Envoi to the face, removing bad Wi-Fi. So now I'm back to that respawn screen. Always Hungry going to be looking to really hold out cash out D from a couple of different places here. This is a very non-standard hold. Bronx looking to set up here with the kiting setup a bit. I mean, hey, makes sense with the DB. But for the rest of Always Hungry, just trying to scout, figure out where that respawn's going to come from. Goats back at it again to try and make their way over. Looks like Sugi was trying to scout as well, figure out where that spawn was going to come in from. Now, Carney, Palma, and Treason, they got one last shot at this.
And Sugi coming in at the rear here for Makeshift. They're closing it down. About 40 seconds left on this point. They decided to take a little bit higher ground, but they know that the team is above here. They're setting up that jump pad with the DMAT. Well, that hole's not ideal, and it will give the game away. Up goes one. Oh, no, they're horribly separated here. I mean, thankfully for Makeshift, they haven't been caught out. But that was a good opportunity. Goats are playing very passive with that box out in the open. Down goes a goo to provide some cover. Really, very nicely aimed here by Alone in Paris. They dropped that dome as well. Out comes the glitch to deny it, but the heal is coming in for Velo. He's sticking this. Down comes Palmer to lay open the damage with that SA-12, and it was needed. It was absolutely required, because there were so many resources going into that Makeshift steal, but it only left Sugi standing at the top of the tower, watching as his team fell to pieces.
Absolutely incredible. And yeah, I was thinking so hard about how to make a comment about what you said about the DMAT hole, but we're gonna move past it as the final set of cash outs coming through. Both of them found on the west side of the map. You're gonna make things really interesting how close they are to one another as the vaults start spawning. You see Always Hungry in control of one, Goats in control of the other. Actually, Always Hungry being 10k in front of the pack right now is super good for them. They are the ones where you could argue that the points matter the most in order for them to actually have an incredible impact. But again, towards the bottom, we're going to be seeing right now Makeshift really putting in an argument for why they deserve to pass through as they send Goats all the way back out. Just Carnifex remaining. They find him. They're going to be chasing. Carney gets the plug, but he has to leave it immediately.
Yeah, and that should be an easy flip for Makeshift, who really have been performing quite well. Just not been going their way when it comes to those final fights over the objective. They could find themselves in a nice, tasty second place finish here, as Always Hungry are already getting started on their third cash out. If they can hold it and remain uncontested, they should be pretty happy with that. This whole building has gone down in tatters. Interestingly, though, both of these objectives are only, what, 70 meters apart? So it's going to be absolutely chaotic in this Isolde building. Bad Wi-Fi taking aim at B.
Oh, wow. Yeah, here's bad Wi-Fi coming in. Floppy going to be able to make that work out. Envoi, incredible spray down to remove Sugi early on. Floppy somehow survives. Will he get healed up? We'll see what happens. But as they take the gateway, wait a second, only Envoi took the gateway. Both Floppy and Matterlock, they actually dropped down, but they baited Makeshift into thinking that the gateway was taken by everybody. Envoi gets sprayed down anyway. Drop it down to the bottom here. Makeshift, well, they're trying to pull off a res right next to cash out. Not a great idea. Will find somehow a little bit of stability through that fight. Both Bad Wi-Fi and Makeshift try to figure out what's happening. Now, steal possibly about to come through here from Makeshift. It's bad Wi-Fi. They're stabilizing. Ploppy looking for the opportunity to get the DMAT. He doesn't get there in time, but he does. The steal is stopped. Alone in Paris going to get gassed out as Velo gets a trade on a Matterlock.
Always Hungry have lost their cash out, though, and the Goats are currently holding on to A. They've decided to move on over here to B and try and take the fight against two weaker teams, but Ploppy finds the back of Yoip and almost ends him. We've got Bronx on the light. Interestingly, a bit of role swapping going on for Always Hungry. Let's see if it pays off for them. There's an army of barricades, but he gets the glitch through the shield. Oh, that's got a sting for Always Hungry, leaving Bronx the only one alive there. And the gas should help Bad Wi-Fi to see this out. They're only going to claim a 3rd place because of them. It feels like the same story every time with Bad Wi-Fi. No matter how hard they try, they always have that little bit less than their opponents. Always Hungry cleaning up 2nd, and the Goats quietly but confidently striding to an expected 1st place finish.
Yeah, I mean, Goats were somewhat uncontested at the end there, but that was one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen. It turns out that sometimes being dummy thick is actually a disadvantage. Who would have thought? I'm watching the playback right now, and just
problems.
Yeah, Jurgen's butt just showing through. I mean, he was showing off. He was, in fact, serving, but unfortunately, not the right thing to do in that situation.
Excellent analysis there. I couldn't agree more, Artie. So, as we look at these scores, we can see, yes, Velo truly was popping off, but unfortunately, Makeshift at the bottom of the leaderboard. The rest of the team not quite serving around him, it would seem. And it was just kind of exemplified by that moment in the middle where they were trying to steal the Goats cash out from the whole tower building, and they couldn't get the coordination down. They couldn't get that jump pad together. I'm not quite sure where Sugi was in the mix of all that as well. It was just very disconnected. And yeah, Velo is clearly turned up and he's hunting for blood, but he's not being met with the same level around him. So there's definitely potential there for the Always Hungry boys, or rather the Makeshift boys. But yeah, they're going to struggle if that's the level of teamwork that they continue to exhibit today.
Absolutely. I mean, one thing to say, though, is that Bad Wi-Fi, they did finish just 1 place above, and that's going to be good, given the fact that Bad Wi-Fi is currently the ones at the bottom of the leaderboard overall. So given the 4th place finish from Makeshift, this is what Bad Wi-Fi needs to keep climbing. But at the end of the day, you also need to, do a little bit more than that. You need to probably find 1 or 2 first place finishes here today. And honestly, from what we saw from Bad Wi-Fi, it could be possible. It could be possible. I mean, they are playing with an emergency sub, but yeah, I mean, as you said, it's just going to be very difficult if the teamwork really isn't there. And for Goats, they just had to wake up a bit. They got there in the end after that weird first cash out.
And we did mention in the heat of it at the very end there, Always Hungry. They have, unfortunately, they no longer have Rampage on their team. They have moved on to having Bronx. And it looks like he's picking up the light role, which is interesting because I've always sort of tagged Yoip as being one of the more talented lights in the league, but he's moving on to medium. That's what happens when you have a surplus of talented gunners in your team. Someone's got to take the medium. But that's not a bad thing. So Jurgen, again, on heavy. It's understandable that there's, maybe a little bit of disconnect going on there. If it's just sort of teething pains, because we saw a little bit of that as well. It feels like that whole game felt like a bit of a warm-up for a lot of these teams. And maybe we'll get to see Jurgen, Bronx, and Yoip really click in the coming games.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, and already we're seeing Carney just wreak havoc on a Makeshift's health bars. Really early fight here over on the east side of Sis Horizon. And Vault 2 being open. Carney going to be looking for an opportunity to just get that early gateway, try to find a direct deposit. But instead, they're really worried about Makeshift here, clapping in at an unexpected time. But wow, that direct deposit is going to happen immediately. Cardifex, he's looking to maybe get cash out 7 done here too.
I'm just looking at the top right and seeing Jurgen get a team wipe on Bad Wi-Fi. Only the heavy. 3 kills in the space of a few seconds. So, sucks to be Bad Wi-Fi, I guess. Let's keep a focus, though, on Carnifex as he's the last one standing here. Velo fighting his way out. Obviously, all of these Makeshift plays very low on HP, but I don't think Carney will want to gamble with that. Velo, unfortunately, meets his undoing at the hands of some flames. Treason brought back to life. And now we're looking at a 3 versus 2. But the cash has already been started by the Goats, so Makeshift need to try and find an opening here. Goats have already fully recovered now, and this might not be
He's
the
got
play.
the DMAT. Oh, yeah, he's got the DMAT. He double DMATs as well. Carney has a glitch. What is that combo? Incredible stuff. We're going to be seeing from the back. It's going to be Palma reaching in to try to find some early damage. Oh, the Pike is chunking away. Lone in Paris. Going to be alone in heaven now, but not for long. Bello going to be following shortly after. Sugi going to get chunked away by Palma, finishing it off, just chasing after. That's going to be a great start to this cash out here for the Goats. Good jump now over to cash out A. We see Bronx still rocking the SH1900. The DB in hand, the DMAT in hand as well.
This is clearly a team decision as well, because this was Yoip's weapon of choice on the light before he made that switch on to medium for this new lineup. So they're really leaning into this this double barrel meta. Well, it's not even meta, it's sort of like the off meta pick at this point, but we see the attempted steal coming in from bad Wi-Fi, and the glitch comes out. Floppy just falls right into the open arms of the waiting pair of shotguns. Jurgen claims that kill. Brought back up after Envoy finds him, and now the winches are coming out. Madalock takes down Bronx. We have, unfortunately, that's the wipe against bad Wi-Fi, but here come Makeshift. Velo cleaning up shop, leaving only Yoip alive, and he should be dealt with very swiftly. There's two dogs chasing him down there. Sugi should get the final shot. Nope, he doesn't. There he does, finally. And that's the steal going away. And Makeshift, only 10 seconds left to hold. If the Goats make this play, nope, they are deciding to head straight over to 3. So that is first wave sorted.
Wow. I don't know if Makeshift is here for the cash or here for the clout, but every single time we've jumped over to a different cash out today, Makeshift have made their way over there. So a little bit fun to see that. I honestly am really enjoying when teams, decide, hey, we really are terrified of Carnifex and friends. We're going to go fight somewhere else. But speaking of fighting somewhere else, bad Wi-Fi, they might be forced to do the same. We're going to be seeing immediately. Zombois tries to get an off angle. Matterlock going to be getting a very early pick here. Does not manage to follow through. Carnifex, though, going out early. Here we go. The revenge works out. Palma actually gets the finish, but they've got paddles in hands. But the Goats just down to a singular player remaining. Bad Wi-Fi. Looks like their network is stabilized here, Jerry.
Yeah, the Goats keep finding themselves in this situation early on, where they're losing everyone, but Carney, so good at staying alive. It's almost his trademark at this point, being able to kite away and keep his team up. Takes Treason, gets him res. Can they find any kills on the re-engage? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like the case. There's a kill going the way of bad Wi-Fi, leaving only Treason, and Madalock makes it 2 for his money. The plug and the wipe going the way of bad Wi-Fi. They're really turning around. This is the lowest ranked seed up against the Goats, second in the league. And they're making them look like cannon fodder at the moment.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if Palma can't capitalize on a little bit of early damage there, it really does send the Goats back spiraling to say, hey, we just got to get a quick reset, come back later. Looking to see for the other cash outs. Makeshifts have quite made a home for themselves. They're holding the high ground. Looks like the cash has been winched all the way down to the floorboards. Always hungry. Looking to see where the strike can come from next. Around the sidelines, though, Jerry. It's a slow approach, tempered, trying to get as much information as possible. Jerry, they might have actually made the right decision here, though.
Yeah, this is a great position to be defending the point from as well. Winching that out into the open, holding from the top floor with a goo fortress as well. But two teams have their eyes on it. This is Always Hungry and the Goats circling. Jurgen is getting very close, attracting some gunfire from both squads. And I think his days are numbered. He throws down that dome in desperation, but there's very little escape for him. Throws down a barricade as well. Surprisingly, he survives. Velo takes out Bronx. As Always Hungry's attack is crumbling under the pressure of that third party from the Goats, who decide to about face and head on over to C instead, seeing it as possibly an easier target given the excellent positioning of Makeshift.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Goats just honestly came over, said, hey, we'll help a little bit, gave a little winch, and then said, yep, back to work over to C. Throwing the smokes immediately, trying to figure out where they can play from. Nice little setup. They've got the barricades. They've got the goos as well. This is a solid hold. Gas to be coming in, but it's not going to reach Palma just yet. Ploppy actually eats the heal beams, removing them from Palma. Carney, now the last player standing on the Goats, but Always Hungry is here too. Yoip going to be picking up a quick 2-piece there. Bad Wi-Fi still in control, but now Always Hungry tries to go in for the steal.
They get the winch.
Thanks to all the util left by the goats. They're still holding on that steal, but Bad Wi-Fi is here early. Bronx gets the finish. Bad Wi-Fi is wiped. Always Hungry is wiped too. Kasugi came and said hello. Wow. But at the end of the day, Always Hungry managed to do quite a bit there.
Yeah, and we saw a moment where Bad Wi-Fi came in to try and winch that away. Madlock had that winch from above. He had an opening, but there was just 20 barricades and 20 more goos all around the box. It didn't matter if he did actually land the winch on the box. We saw it wobble, but it didn't go anywhere. It was locked in place.
Yeah. They're just playing Fortnite, building barricades, throwing goo. They built more map than they removed, which I think, you know, carbon neutrality is a great thing to go for here, but it's a virtual arena, guys. Go crazy.
Yeah, there are no emissions here, so go nuts. Don't worry about planting trees. We haven't even unlocked that ability yet. I don't think goo can photosynthesize either, so it's a bit of a moot point. We have B being approached now by Vault 5 as Velo carrying it for makeshifts. They're already well ahead, but that can stand to change with the goats already having plugged on the other side of the map for the final wave of Vaults. Bad Wi-Fi and Always Hungry here, both fighting each other though, so this is an opportunity for Makeshift to assert their defense and clean up. Bad Wi-Fi already wiped Always Hungry down to 2 members. They are presumably running away with that totem in tow, but we can't be certain of that. They're closing him down. They hear them. They're playing off the sound here, but Velo knows that he's alone. And here comes the goats in for a backstab.
Oh, the Palma once again immediately deleted their Velo, able to actually take that away pretty much for free. Lone in Paris, though, gonna be the price to pay. It's no more defibs remaining, and we'll see if Makeshift try to go for the early res here. Bronx in the back takes out Treason. Carnifex and Palma, last 2 standing on the goats thanks to the quick res, but Always Hungry, here to make a move, here to make a mark. The third party, very well timed. He just tried to DB his own. I don't know what happened there. We got Palma, though, picking up 1. Carnifex back on the res heal again, picking up Treason. Sugi getting a pick from across the map, as well as now Makeshift is involved, because of course they are. This is their cash out. The goats now trying to make that finalize, where they are finally getting the steal done through. Lone in Paris be down to half HP. The glitch from Carnifex is going to go in, but Velo's right behind him. Lone in Paris is going to go out. Palma around the side. Carnifex is going to be joining. Sugi is matching, but Velo down to 1 HP. Sugi needs to rotate in for the heals, try to get the H+. Palma gets the shot. Sugi gets the trade. Goats just down to 2. Now 3 with Palma getting rezzed. Makeshift is out. Sugi gets finalized by the third party. Bronx, Always Hungry is here now. Always Hungry trying to finish this out fast. Carnifex is going to go out first. Palma getting chunked, but it's Treason that goes out next. And as Palma slowly gets his health eaten away by the double barrel, he tries desperately to finish out Yoip. He does get the stall, but he gets finished out anyway. The gas is there. Yeah.
He got the steal. That's unbelievable. And I can't believe, for Bad Wi-Fi's sake, right now, they are in 3rd place. And they got one of the final cash outs. They actually finish in 3rd place, just ahead of the goats, in fact. Really upsetting the apple cart. The goats finishing last. Tied on kills, or tied on cash exactly, with Bad Wi-Fi coming out on top. And yeah, that was just a bizarre ending. And it just feels like Bad Wi-Fi can't find a break. Honestly, they keep getting the final cash out, and they keep coming 3rd. It's just not working for them.
That was a wild set of events, just following a singular cash out at the edge of the library. But I mean, hey, if this is what goes on at the public library, I need to be going there more often. But yeah, like you said, very surprising given the fact that the goats, they were so strong all game. But that's what we love about Sis Horizon, is that it always comes down to the last minute steals on this map more than most. And for Bad Wi-Fi, it was kind of the opposite scenario. They were in control in the beginning of a lot of different cash outs, but they were not able to finish very many of them. But finishing in 3rd place here, tied up, but still somehow making it up in front of the goats, that is definitely good tidings. Still 3 more maps on the board, Jerry.
Yep, still plenty of time for things to change, but always hungry, really. We should be giving them the most credit. They just come out of that with a victory. Came with a second place in Fortune Stadium as well, so they are out in front of the pack as it stands. And that's absolutely huge for their regional playoffs hopes. Of course, every team, I must correct myself, every team will go through to the regional playoffs, but it's about seeding. And then, of course, there's championship playoffs afterwards, to which a more prestigious collection of teams will advance. So, yes, it's important to get those higher seeds, though, Ardy, because you really do want to progress in the stage, and obviously you give yourself that upper bracket advantage if you're in the top half, so it makes a big difference.
Big difference as well, also just to have the safety in knowing you performed well and you don't have to worry too much going into it. Whereas you're on the lower side of things, it's a little bit more stressful just on the mental side of the entire game itself. Also, are competing for prizes. Do want to give a special shout out to our Broxton, dropping $1,000 into the pot while we were offline, just saying, hey guys, by the way, here's some incredible money for you. So huge shout out. Please follow Broxton on Twitch. That's BR0XTON. This is also known as Crash. He is the PR chief officer of VIA, if you didn't know. And just huge shout out. Thank you so much, Broxton.
I signed with VIA this season as well, so he's technically my boss? I'm not quite sure. I don't know how that works. I get cosmetics from him.
You do get cosmetics from him, but if you keep showing up in my DMs with those messages, I'm going to have to report you to Crash. So just keep that in mind next time you're writing up something at 3 a.m., Mr. Jerry.
I'm sorry, it was part of the hive mind. It wasn't me, it was we.
Oh, incredible. We're going to be jumping into Las Vegas now, and this is honestly a map where bad Wi-Fi could turn things. The timing on Las Vegas is so different to every map on this game, and to be honest, very different entirely to Fortune and Sister Rise we just played before. I think this is like the three genres of timings, and as we come into this, bad Wi-Fi, they really need to make use of that here. They're going to be having their first matchup up against the Goats. Goats got the better spawn. They're going to be able to proc the vault, but bad Wi-Fi got the height advantage going into this vault fight.
There you go. That height advantage should make a difference between Treason flexing onto the F car for this match off the pipe that we've seen him a few times on now. Velo getting the opening kill on the other side of the map, but still 3 apiece over here. And Treason is disconnected from his team, hoping to find some long shots, but he's really left his team in the thick of it, and that has cost Palmer his life. Carnifex now scrambling as he often is, but Madalock chases him down as well. Can he make it 3 with the shack? No, he can't. Ploppy will take that glory away from him, but they've already started the cash out, so that's a big win in their books.
Absolutely. Like I said, making use of that Vegas timing. You trade off that early vault control for the height. It works out well. Speaking of height, makeshift right now. They've got the height advantage. They also have the cash out. Going to be seeing Always Hungry look to see if this steal is even possible. They kite back around. They did bait out locations. They know that Makeshift's holding up from the top. They're going to take an even more up top position up here. Makeshift, they hear those footsteps, a pitter patter of feet running across the virtual arena. Now it's just going to be a battle of kiting.
Lots of spam pings coming out. Everyone's saying, you know, we hear someone over here. No, we hear someone over here. Out goes the glitch. That does work as an effective sonar grenade. You get that hit marker. You know that someone's in the radius. And here the fight erupts. But Alone in Paris coming in from behind to finish off Yoip. Jurgen will punish that positioning, though. And a 2 versus 2 will ensue. The heals come out to juice up that heavy. Bronx is very low, though, himself in this fight. And great positioning from Velo, taking out Jurgen, leaving only Bronx. Velo gets his second as well. These heavies so talented. We really do know them like the back of our hands. Velo and Jurgen, but Velo coming out there with the victory. Makeshift holding firm on their cash out. When you tune over onto Bad Wi-Fi versus the Goats, and the Goats are left with only Treason. Again, it seems they're splitting up quite frequently. Whereas Envoy, Madalock, and Ploppy are locking things down on the defense. They look like a different side right now, Artie.
Absolutely. I mean, Envoy right there saying au revoir to Treason. That F car not working out well. Thank you. I was thinking about that all game last map. Treason just pieced out that the F car really not hitting as hard as they wanted to. Both fights now. I mean, that's going to be really good looks for Bad Wi-Fi to start things off. But again, Bad Wi-Fi, they always start in control and they lose it. Here's an opportunity for that to happen here. Is Always Hungry trying to come in and get involved. Floppy going to be going out really early. The FAMAS hitting hard. Bad Wi-Fi, luckily, still going to be retaining through here. As Jurgen and Yoip go down, Bronx is going to go out last there. Envoi hitting every single shot with the XP54. Bad Wi-Fi start off really strong. The Goats, well, now that they're back, they're going to be getting really early control over Vault 3. They want to make sure they get this plug early. They want to make sure they're not making the same mistakes they made last map.
Some Bad Wi-Fi is very exciting to watch. It's worth noting that Madlock has played all season on the lights, but now with Envoi on the team, he seems to be taking up that light role. He's on heavy, which is an interesting switch. Of course, Ploppy being a medium main maybe has something to do with that. But I'm liking it. The dynamism is there. They're backing each other up. It feels like, you know, Madlock is a heavy that knows what his light wants. And that makes perfect sense. Moving on forward, we can see now Fellow giving chase as the Goats get that cash out gated over to C. In comes the RPG, almost enough to take down Treason, but Treason will drop down and leave Karma in the 1 versus 1, who wins it. It looks as though the Goats are well set to defend here. 3 versus 2. The others on makeshift are backed away.
That's the first heavy duel that Palma has won all game. Looking very good as the winch and SA is finally hitting the way it should. To be seeing the Goats here. Try to set up over on C. Now this cash out could be a little bit difficult to control. You have a couple choices whether or not you want to winch it out towards the wall, winch it out in the middle of the street, or pull it back towards the Angimo building. They try to pull out of the street, but it doesn't quite go. The palm tree, my own hometown advantage here, stalling it out for the Goats. Still in a very easily defensible position, but Carnifex, he's going to be trying to fight over to the sidelines of the parking lot. Makeshift, it withstands somehow.
Maybe it was a telegraph pole. Some of these palm trees and telegraph poles look very similar. Example, the one on the left right now.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, I don't know my map as well as I know. As well as I thought. That's caster exposed for a moment there.
You don't know every single telephone pole?
No. And I will admit that. I'm only human. Sadly, I'm not a robot yet.
Fake caster.
Give it time. We will rise. Here we go. Oh, that's a cheeky little hiding spot. I'm definitely going to use that in mind. Sugi finds an opportunity to take down Treason, but he squanders it. Treason finds 2 for his money. Sugi and Alone in Paris going down. That is a wipe on makeshift. They will defend their cash out very well. A cheeky steal going on for Always Hungry against the Goats. Against Bad Wi-Fi, who are all up. So I'm not quite sure how they pulled that off. And now Bad Wi-Fi are dropping like flies. Yoip and Palmer getting in on the action. 2 separate sides, causing real headaches for Bad Wi-Fi. Down comes the Dome and the Barricade. This is an attempted steal here for the side of the Goats.
Wait, the Goats?
2 in 1.
They're getting double?
Already about to cash out with C, and now they've locked a D in with only 20 seconds to defend it. Look at the cash tally.
They've just got C, and D is in control. All 3 players are up there. That is peak third party. Lobby going to be coming in and saying, hey, this is the last ditch ever, but we need to get this seal. All 3 players, the Goats, are going to be coming in there, making that look like a casting couch. An absolutely incredible destruction to look forward to. We see the Goats finalize that cash out. An incredible set at the second sets here. What a wild way for the Goats to just say, hey, there's no way we finish last twice in a row.
No, they know that last game was a massive stumble for them, especially given their standing against these squads at the moment. Because see Sugi now trying to chase the game. Makeshift, of course, have not finished the game in first place yet. It's still possible for them, but Sugi needs to pick up the pieces of his lost side. So we enter that final wave of cash outs. We see that cash out 6, or Vault 6 rather, has been tapped by the Goats. Number 5 is in transit in the hands of Bronx. That'll be important for Always Hungry to try and dive out of last place. They've finished first and second in the past couple of maps. They want to keep themselves up in those higher echelons.
We'll be seeing what happens here. Always Hungry gets the plug early on. Next, Vault, close to the cash out, gets plugged there by the Goats. At this point, the Goats just aura farming, seeing exactly what they can do over the sides. It's going to be Always Hungry, making their way over, but on the Alpha Active building, at high ground, is going to be escaping Jurgen. Has just enough time to get away, heal back up. They try to figure out if they're going to go third party or commit to the fight here. You know that Bad Wi-Fi is also afoot. Here it is, Bad Wi-Fi. Starting off strong, but Yoip is not removed. He does manage to make it out just in time. But Bad Wi-Fi is stable on their own cash out. Always Hungry need to strike soon. Yoip going to be moving into position to try to get that DMAT to stop it out. They get the DMAT. Are they going to be able to follow through with the pick? Floppy down to half HP. Heal beam does work out. Matterlock chunked out, taken away. But at the same time, the rest of Always Hungry gets completely wiped out. But now the goats are here as well as Carnifex finds two. It's just not the Floppy. Carnifex finds him as well. Carnifex, the goats are stealing it again. You can't keep doing this.
This is their world, and we are just living in it. They own Vegas right now. I wish I knew who owned all the casinos in Vegas, because that would make a great joke at this moment in time. No way can they hold on to both at the same time, though. So Makeshift will head over to A, seeing a very open field for them, free for the taking, and put their names on it. So the GOAT should end in first place no matter what here, but it's just a matter of how they do it. They're toying with their food, Artie.
I just love this in chat, Ray, because like, oh, contested goats is useless. They all have to play B. Just wait. Just watch. 15 more seconds. You'll see it. We're going to be seeing exactly that coming through here. Is the goats again. Carnifex wreaking havoc on Cash Out A. Doesn't even belong to them anymore, but they just want to just completely cause chaos. Always Hungry is here now as well. Great stall winch. Bronx could be fighting Palma somewhere on the map. They could be another Cash Out. We're going to be seeing bad Wi-Fi involved now, too. They get taken out here. Ploppy and Envoy, they're out of here. Just out of treason on the goats, but they got their cash already. Makeshift going to be making it out there with the last bit. Thankfully, able to find the moment of respite to just get that steal away from the goats, but still, the goats stealing two Cash Outs in the middle and then taking control and just destroying this lobby. Absolutely terrifying.
This is what happens if you have a team that other teams are actively avoiding, to the point where they know that they're not going to get involved in many fights unless they bring themselves to it, right? The goats were probably just bored. They were like, okay, no one's coming to our cash out. Let's just go across the map. And then when they took that, they thought, okay, well, no one's going to come for our cash out again. Let's fourth party. Why the hell not? We've already gotten first place. So it was bonkers from their perspective. Makeshift, with only 5 kills in the lobby, finished second. Huge for them. That's another second place finish in a row.
Wow.
And Always Hungry dropping to last. So really, every standing here is shaken up. We're not seeing any consistency across the board. Besides Bad Wi-Fi, who have finished third again. They just love that bronze medal.
Hey, bronze is a good medal to have. I mean, the thing about bronze, right? Oh, God. Sorry, one moment.
We've got a little bit of a tech issue. Don't worry, it's just being fixed in the background. I will fill for the moment. So, as you can see, Artie has been taken by Broxton. He did not submit to Via, and he's been absorbed into the ether. So, okay, never mind.
Hello, gents.
The gods are merciful, it would seem.
I may or may not have forgotten to turn the fan on the back of my camera, but that's besides the point. Thankfully, I have Holto insurance for that, and we're back online. But yeah, I mean, I was really shocked when we pulled up that scoreboard to see that Makeshift only had 5 kills, but it goes to show you, like, this timing that I said that bad Wi-Fi needed to be the ones taken advantage of, where you don't really need to worry about the vault fights. You don't really need to worry about anything except for that last fight when you get that timing just right. Makeshift, you're able to do that thanks to the goats kind of unintentionally assisting by fighting everywhere all at once. But yeah, for bad Wi-Fi, they start in control. They start with some really good cash outs. They can't finish it out, Jerry.
No, they can't. And I think, considering the number of moving parts today, it's surprising to see that bad Wi-Fi have found a level of consistency. That it's a strange level of consistency. They were always finishing third. They always seem to have this one moment each map where they just look like the best team in the planet, and then that doesn't continue. And we said this about them on Saturday. They just need to find a level of consistency throughout a single map that will find them a win, and it has not happened yet. Like, they really struggled to find that first place podium finish. I don't think in the time that I've been casting them, they've managed more than one. And that was the very second Playday on the last map when they ran a Riot Shield. It was the only time they managed to win. That was on Sis Horizon. We've already played Sis Horizon today. We're on Monaco now. I don't think Ploppy's going to bring out the Riot Shield, because they spent a whole Playday with it after that and it didn't work at all.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm a big Riot Shield supporter. Season 1 Diamond, Riot Shield only is my claim to fame. But again, yeah, I don't think we're going to be seeing that, especially not on Monaco. Fun note, chat, is all white outfits have been banned. The bloom is so strong, especially on Monaco, where sometimes when you're inside, players are outside, it's hard to see them. So as you can tell, every single player here going to be wearing a nice, dark, contrasty outfit here. And as we get started off, we're going to be looking at, well, the GOATs. Carnifex actually gets pieced out. Alone in Paris on that pike, going wild. Treason to be able to find one for himself, but also find some shotgun pellets in the back. GOATs first to be wiped here on Monaco.
Yeah, and it does seem like every time I tune into Monaco, I see someone take a perch up on that crane, and it works against them. I've never seen someone survive for that long up there. Jurgen finding 2 kills against Bad Wi-Fi, leaving only Madlock on a single bar of HP. Not quite sure where he is. He's hiding in amongst this Dyson apartment. And Always Hungry, maybe just playing off the sound here. They know, of course, that he's about, but they're guarding a totem. They have control of the box. Time is on their side. And it seems as though Jurgen finally got a read on him. Dives. Oh, sorry, Yoip finally got a read on him. No, it was Jurgen. Yoip just claimed the final hit. So there's the FAMAS coming in the kill feed. Causing me to stumble on my words, Ardy.
I mean, I'm stumbling over everything today, just given the fact that I never know what's going to happen. Bad Wi-Fi, they start off so strong, and the GOATs, they just have that macro timing. But, you know, it kind of comes back to the conversation we're having between maps, right? Where this game really does prioritize teamwork. It really does prioritize and reward good macro control and understanding of the timing and the pacing. Sugi just evaporated into coins thanks to Treason rocking that pike. We're now going to be seeing the GOATs here coming into contact with Always Hungry over on the streets here. See exactly what happens. Jurgen finds the last shot. It's going to be a melee to finish off Carnifex. Palma possibly going to be looking to see if he can get the at the space needed so Treason can get the defib. But it's going to be Palma that finds an RPG shot into Yoip.
Still a lot of moving parts around here. We have the 2 players up on Always Hungry, holding on to this cash out, but Palmer dropping his favored barricade and the dome, but he's winched out of position there by Jurgen. Excellent defense, who then lays in the damage from above to deny the steal and finds yet another onto anyone that dares to approach cash out B.
Oh wait,
Always Hungry,
they don't have
guarding
time.
it so nicely. No, not enough time for the GOATs. Always Hungry have definitely done enough there. Jurgen brought back to life as a reward for his efforts there. Unfortunately, he's walked into a room full of GOATs, and they will bleat him to death.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, I mean, just absolute chaos here. And worth noting that that vault spawned 20 meters away from that cash out. It was right there. I mean, hey, you know what? Shout out to Volpe sponsoring that area of the arena. Beautiful, beautiful spawns for everybody involved, but I guess not for Always Hungry. I guess not for the GOATs. Always Hungry did get that at the end. Good look now. Bad Wi-Fi. Treason loses 2 players off the rip. Shaq 50 going to be ripping into Palma, but Carnifex and Treason well enough away. You need a lot more than 20 volts to deal with them. The GOAT's going to be starting with Cash Out C, already plugged.
Treason is really starting to do something that a lot of esport players can only dream of. He's starting to get a weapon associated with him. I'm beginning to think of the pike as the Treason weapon. Just the amount of times you see it pop up in the kill feed and how effective he seems to be with it. Whether we catch it or whether we don't. It's just so good.
He was using the pike before it was cool.
I know, right? And now he's really put on a stage on this squad alongside 2 of the most talented players in EU, and he's making it work. He's proving that it works at the very highest level. So Bronx taking down Velo as we tune in now to, well, that's actually the fight on the other side of the map here. We see Cash Out D being defended by Makeshift. Excuse me, no, Velo is down here. So 2 versus 3 on the defense, but good position for Makeshift. They should be able to hold this off. Unfortunately, they're having to deal with 3 parties here. Bad Wi-Fi causing problems for them up in their faces, while Always Hungry steal the objective.
Yeah, I mean, Bad Wi-Fi going to be doing what they can to at least make some space, but it's a really good opportunity for Always Hungry to get there, get involved at the right times. Bad Wi-Fi gets deleted. They're in the middle of the 3rd party. Always happens on Monaco, but immediately, Yoip makes that FAMAS look good. Makeshift, they still have the opportunity to try to come through here, but as Sugi gets taken away, Velo runs for his dear life. Is he going to be able to make it away? Look at this aggression, and it's going to work out well here for Always Hungry. They're going to retain control of Cash Out D. This is over in the Northern Forest, and yeah, these cash outs are pretty far away from one another, but over the Royal Plaza, goats have not been contested yet.
That was some really nice DMAT play from Yoip, by the way. He used it twice in a row to drop an opponent and isolate them and find the kills. Really tasty stuff. And yeah, Always Hungry, managing to get their box back under control. Doesn't look like anyone's going to be contesting them too soon. I say that as we watch Bad Wi-Fi move in their direction. Makeshift as well, also lurking behind the purple squad. Got to be careful with the timing here. Only 30 seconds left to make a move, Artie.
Yeah, they need to really make this happen now. It takes about 20 seconds on average to finish a team fight. And well, you gotta leave 7 seconds for change to start that steal. And if my math adds up, usually doesn't, chat, I don't think they've got time to make this one work out. We're gonna be seeing Yoip and Jurgen drop in. Jurgen winches it back over in his direction. Bad Wi-Fi. They find one pick there, but the time is already away from them. It's gonna be Bronx now, looking to see if he can get the double barrel. It does work out the envoi. Looking to see Jurgen getting chunked away. Bronx gets the healing beam, but it is going to be Matterlock that finds a finish. Bronx gets another double pump onto Ploppy. Just up to Matterlock now. Bronx on the hunt. He doesn't need to finish it. Doesn't need to. They've got coins. They can make it work out. And Bronx gets the res onto Jurgen. Yoip coins back in. We'll see where the fight takes them next. But for Bad Wi-Fi, they need to get in control of a vault early because the goats have already plugged one.
Yeah, they're just hovering. They were hovering in the center of the map. Really nice area to kind of control. You can jump into any team fight. You can go for any vault. You can always make that call. And we saw the goats sort of move about and make a few different decisions there. And when they saw that vault was an opportunity, they went with that gateway. They got it started as soon as they could. Now they are in control of the lobby. But Always Hungry at the moment have more cash in them. So if they can secure their own cash out, they have tapped Vault 6. But they have lost the box to the hands of Bad Wi-Fi. It would put Always Hungry in first place. Now, this is a three-way skirmish here. Always Hungry left with only 2 players, though. Bad Wi-Fi up all 3 of them. They haven't yet got that plug, but we can see right now it's going all the way over. Bit of miscommunication there as the winch pulls that cash away momentarily, but it's just a better position to defend from. They won't mind that. In come Always Hungry, though. Full strength and then... Whoa! I don't have a word. Mullering? Demolishing? Steamrolling?
Bad Wi-Fi disconnected is what happened there. They're gonna need to reset the router on that one. Always Hungry coming in control. It's in such a good spot. Gonna be so hard to take away from them. And yeah, I mean, hey, Bad Wi-Fi, they added a new player. The miscommunication was bound to happen at some point. Off the Cathedral, though, the goats, they've got such a great sightline here. The goo grenade's really coming into meta in the EU, and this is why. Look at how much control they have over what happens at the cash out, just building their own arena over there. And again, nobody wants to contest the goats. Nobody wants to go over there. So we've got 3 teams coming to cash out, Jerry.
Which is crazy to see because, of course, the goats do have a little bit less time. I think the problem is they know that that team is so good at kiting away. The time's just not going to work in their favor. Interesting positioning here by Bad Wi-Fi, having the classic ploppy on a ladder. Just peeking his head up over the top. And we now see, of course, the third party. And expect a fourth, because, of course, the goats will be hot on everyone's tails here. You can already see Treason posting up on top of the building with that pike. Anyone is a valid target to him, but of course they want to try and put Always Hungry out of it. That is the key here. They're going to target the pink team, and they're doing just that, finding 2 for their money. Almost a wipe. Only Jurgen left to defend this cash out, and he's got a massive target on his back. The whole lobby are going after him. His days are numbered. Oh, he's so low. He does manage to get Velo. He's still alive somehow.
The goats, they actually want Makeshift to get this out. They want to make sure that Always Hungry doesn't get that second place point, and that even if the goats steal this, that means that Makeshift gets second. So, or that means that Always Hungry would get second. So goats get first regardless. Makeshift, if they get this, they're going to be getting second here. And, I mean, this is the goats just playing full meta, right? They are playing full leaderboard on hand. Chaos happening in the streets of Monaco. And it's all over now. 1 map remaining. The goats going to be finishing first place. Makeshift taking that second place thanks to the assist from the goats. The Always Hungry and Bad Wi-Fi once again find themselves just struggling and trading blows for the third and fourth.
Yeah, it's just one of those for always hungry. You know, they were in a position to win that outright, but of course, bad Wi-Fi being, or sorry, the Goats being so far ahead of the pace there had the chance to influence the game to their liking and protect their own first place finish, allowing someone else to kill, to get that steal. And yes, of course, Makeshift the beneficiaries there. Let's have a look at Treason for a second. 12-1? That's disgusting.
I mean, even just that fight at the end there, when he's sitting on top, shooting into the forest, right? That was the crispiest pike aim I've ever seen. Why does my pike not do that? But, I mean, that's just Treason, and the way that he's able to operate within the team, they are playing to their best. And I gotta say, Bronx, 6 kills with the DB. I mean, pulling the DB out on Monaco is one thing, but they've been very consistent to keep it every single map. They're committed to it. And I mean, coming into Nozomi, where it's gonna work even better, I actually have a feeling that Always Hungry might be feeling a little itchy on the trigger finger to try and dethrone the Goats.
Yeah, and this is a throne that they're sitting on right now. Of course, this is not what teams like Aimers, teams like Pulsar will want to see, because they want to have those favourable seedings. They want to have that top place finish just to brag about as well after a season of cash out. And this was always going to be the GOAT's opportunity to start climbing. If we look at the other groups for today as well, Pulsar and Aimers are up against each other yet again. So those points are going to get split, and yeah, this could be a day where we see the Goats finally climb back to the top. But of course, we've said that before, and Aimers have come out with win after win after win, so we just have to wait and see to the final group. Either way, Ardy, we still got one map left in Group A. It's going to be Nozomi Citadel. I love to see it. I'm a big VIA fan. And of course, we have even bigger VIA fans. We have a VIA PR Chief Officer in the chat who has made a massive donation to our prize pool. I'm talking about Broxton out there. So big shout out to him. And yeah, it's a great map. It's a really exciting map, Ardy. I'm glad we get our final map of Group A to be this one.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Nozomi, honestly, ever since it came out, it has quickly risen to the top as my favorite map. There's just so much tech to unlock here. There's so many little nooks and crannies and secrets that teams are still discovering. The CNS side of things is its own just massive labyrinth of areas to kite, buildings to run around. On the VIA side, the really clean sight lines make it easy for those long-range fights to take place, even through walls and through the destruction that happens. These buildings, they destroy very beautifully. You'll be seeing now here as we come into the last fight. Always Hungry, well, they better be starving because they have a lot of points to make up for here. Bad Wi-Fi, Ploppy, he's bringing the shield out.
Hey, it's the bad Wi-Fi special, the Floppy special, final map of the day. They finished third 3 times in a row, last in that most recent map on Monaco. They want to make sure that they end with a bang. Unfortunately, Envoy going down early on in this team fight puts them at a 2 versus 3. Floppy still at full strength, chasing down Velo. It looks like they will take down that heavy at 2 versus 2 now. And they can control the ground, but Madlock going down these Ploppy in a 1 versus 1. He gets a load in Paris, but Sugi is there to clean things up. And he was close, but Makeshift win that fight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Always Hungry. They are still going to be able to walk away here. Splitting the heavy, chase the heavy. Medium chasing the light. There we go. Always Hungry. Take it away there. Treason finishes off Brox over off screen there. Vault 1 gets opened up, but we also see Cash Out B already started. Makeshift, a very nice beginning here. Bad Wi-Fi try to recombine to yet another fight over to the sidelines. See if Bad Wi-Fi can actually make this push work to the CNS buildings.
Some strange thing entered my brain there, Roddy. I have to share it with you. Are all the doors in this game like locked to being push or pull? Like they don't swing in either direction, do they?
They do.
Do they all swing in either directions? That's so strange. Like imagine
the entire game.
Imagine being in a world where every single door is both a push and a pull. This is what society could be.
Every single door is a push and a pull if you are strong enough and if you have enough money to pay the repair bills. I'm just saying. We're going to be seeing bad Wi-Fi. They're not able to commit to that steal there. It's not going to be anything more than just trying to bait out the positioning from Makeshift. Bait out they have. They find Velo. Not going to be falling for it just yet. Is ready and waiting to winch up from the top here. But bad Wi-Fi, they need to climb one set of stairs. Trying to figure out where this fight is, but Makeshift, they've been VOD reviewing. They know exactly how to kite around this building. It's Floppy, tries to make the charge over to Alone in Paris. He's going to lose that fight. No beating to death with the stick for you today. Velo, though, they get chipped out, misses the winch, instead pulls an AC unit. Is hot in Europe. I could understand why he needs one of those, but we're going to be seeing Matterlock and Envoy stay alive. Makeshift slowly, their health bars chunking away. Bad Wi-Fi, you find the reset on the Ploppy before they really commit to this push. They're running out of time.
Alone in Paris was a really nice bit of kiting there, taking himself down to very low HP, but managing to escape with that DMAT. Mediums can be the slipperiest in one of these sorts of buildings. I mean, hard to track down the light usually. Madlock just decides to bait some engagement. There's the drop coming out from Alone in Paris, but Sugi is rewarded with a kill either way. Looks like bad Wi-Fi, a bit toothless on this attack. They can't quite find the kills to collect. Sugi is going ham with this ARN. Takes down Madlock. Now it's only Bronx left in, or rather Floppy left in the 1 versus 3. He can't manage it. On the other side of things, Bronx was left in the 1v3. That's why I got a bit confused. And the Goats see out their cash box rather convincingly. We have two teams really just stamping their authority on this lobby so far. Ardy and the pink and purple lagging behind.
I'm using my brain to sort of look over to see what happened with the Goats, and it's the exact same thing that's been happening every map. They just dominate. Treason and Palma hit all their shots. Guys, just close your eyes. You've seen it before. I don't think we missed much. You'll be looking to see Vault 4 get pushed in by bad Wi-Fi. They have a very good spawn to take advantage of this. That being said, question is, will Envoy be able to get an early gate into a position to get the plug? Now, on this map, there are so many times where the vault will spawn more than 70 meters away from the cash out, but this time, this one is within range. You're going to be able to get a direct all the way over to the bathhouse. Seeing if that bathhouse spawn will work out well for them. Well, the riot shield is probably the best case scenario. This is bad Wi-Fi's best chance to make this play work out. They get the plug, they start off early, always hungry, taking some early damage as bad Wi-Fi knows exactly where this fight will come from.
At this point, highly defensible. These walls just work so well to hold, and you know that enemies are going to be coming through one of two ways. Those doorways are such a giveaway. There's a real brawl, though, a close-range skirmish between all of them, and Ploppy gets that shield out, but unfortunately not before Jurgen finds all three on the attack. Bad Wi-Fi taken out, but Makeshifter in here. There's a 3 versus 3. Thankfully for Always Hungry, that was such a clean attack that they are well set now to try and defend, but they have to try and get a steal in the midst of all of this as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, over the operations center, the Goats completely uncontested for now, but I think that means that there's a chance once that timer gets a little bit closer, they could come in and get involved. Lona Paris going to get reset here as Makeshift is in, but Velo is taken away early. Always Hungry. They have an opportunity to find another pick. And Yoipa Bronx, they take full advantage of it. That's going to be Always Hungry now in control. They have the opportunity to get the steal here, but bad Wi-Fi. They are back. Are they back in time? Just barely enough time to get the stall. Let's see if they're going to be able to retain control here. Best case scenario after everything that's happened. But for bad Wi-Fi, Ploppy gets chunked out and Envoy deleted immediately. Matterlock able to at least get the recombine. Take out Jurgen, who's immediately defibbed. Ploppy, can he find the defib onto Envoy? They have the defender respawn point timing. So, be back in just a couple seconds, but Matterlock gets removed. It's just down to Ploppy and the riot shield to get the stall. It's a lot harder to make the stall plays with a shield, but he can do it on his own. It's on the bottom floor. No DMAT plays will be made. Yoib going to be starting the steal here. Both the heavy and the light going to be holding on, and he just gets deleted immediately. The RPG C4 combo to delete the shield player. Makeshift, they're going to be able to take control, but no! It's Always Hungry coming in for the third party, but they're deleted too! Thanks to the Goats of the third party, but Carnifex here to wreak havoc and he kills Velo. They've done it again! The Goats take both cash outs!
That is ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. Always Hungry, as far as I'm concerned, earned the right to that cash out. They fended off 2 teams in a row. They managed to get 2 team wipes for themselves in a row. Almost made it a third. but they just couldn't withstand wave after wave after wave. 5 teams came in there, including the Goats at the very end, to try and deny them. And Always Hungry had control of it for so long, but couldn't get the steal. And then, of course, Carnifex just runs across the map and gets the final kill. It's just the way it works. That's the game. I feel so sorry for these other 3 teams that are going at each other's throats, but if you're trying a third party constantly, you do not have the control to be able to dictate the game. And look at what's happening. The Goats just running away with it as a result.
I'm just sobbing over the fact that Bad Wi-Fi had control of the cash out for its entire lifespan except for the last second.
No, it was Always Hungry. Well, I mean, Bad Wi-Fi had the cash out in their name.
In their
but
name,
they were
exactly.
basically dead the whole time.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's a beautiful day at the arena, Jerry.
Not once, twice. Like, it's so silly. This game makes no sense sometimes. But I love it. I love it.
That's why we love it. That's why we're here. It's going to take me a full set to recover from that. But, I mean, let's go ahead and check out what's happening now as the Goats. I mean, they're just having a cash out for fun. They don't even need it. They're just doing this for the love of the game, baby. We're going to be seeing Always Hungry in control of one on their own. And, hey, Always Hungry, they're getting patted in on. The Goats going to be jumping here to say, hey, Always Hungry, how you doing? What's for lunch?
There is a fight over second place, of course, because everyone's so close together. And interestingly, the Goats have given up their box to try and chase down B. They're bored of waiting. They want to get in on the action. They're also bored of there being so many third parties. They just want a fourth party. Because third parties are mean. Fourth party is, like, just goated. Like, that's the real juice. So, in we go. They managed to get the seal somehow. And I would put money on them holding this, to be honest.
I think they actually have this. There is a big chance, but as soon as I say that,
but they could still hold it.
Yeah, as soon as I say that, right? I mean, we know that with Makeshift, they take control. Always Hungry, they're here to actually still stabilize on the point. And when it comes down to third parties, the Goats, it doesn't matter if the cash out's taken away and there's less than a minute. They have time. It's the Goats we're talking about here, and they don't even care. Makeshift, well, they're going to be in control for now, and they really need this. Always Hungry wants to do what they can, but seemingly every single step of the way, Always Hungry is, oh no.
Oh, look, Goats are being smart and not third party. They're going for A. They don't have very long to take down Bad Wi-Fi, but it is the spawn they've been fed, so maybe they can put it off, but we'll just have to keep track of the kill feeds to see if that happens. There is only 20 seconds left over here on Makeshift's cash out. They're fighting for a second place here. And at the moment, Always Hungry diving on it. They have to stick this steal, but of course that DMAT is below. Alone in Paris drops it, and that forces him off. Gonna stick it once again. Jumping in, all the bullets being unloaded. I think maybe Always Hungry have done it there. They've destroyed Makeshift, and they get the steal. That has gotten them a second place right at the death.
Wow.
Always Hungry, climbing out of the hole and finding themselves yet another second place finish. But this group was just all about the Goats.
It was all about the Goats, but also it's all about Bad Wi-Fi just not holding on. I mean, that was 2, maybe even 3 cash outs in a row where Bad Wi-Fi held control for its entire life cycle. Not once was able to actually finish it out in a way that mattered towards the end. I mean, they did get the last one, but still, they end in 3rd place. 5 kills to their name, where we look over and see that Always Hungry finishes with a staggering 23 kills.
That's ridiculous. The fact that they've got 23 kills, it just goes to show just how much control they exerted over that bathroom cash out. Right? They would destroy everything that came their way, but they just couldn't catch a breath to get the steal. And if they had, then they would have come out on top, right? Like, they would have absolutely dominated this lobby. It was the Goats that came out with the win.
Oh, yeah.
I do wonder if my voice is being heard right now because I'm looking at a break screen. Think we
there
might
we go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, we just had a little bit of a tech issue there. A fat finger, if you will. But we are, yeah, that group was bonkers. Goats came last in the second map, which was a bit of a win anomaly because they won every single other one.
Yeah, I mean, it was one singular 4th place for Goats and everything else. I mean, we've always seen that, right? Where teams, they get 4 wins. That 5th win is so evasive. But this was a dream group for the Goats, given the, I will say it, the skill diff between everybody else in the lobby. But I gotta say, for Bad Wi-Fi and Team Makeshift, I am very, very curious to see if they were actually going to be trading blows there with the scoreboards towards the end. I think Makeshift, they still had a few wins that were well up above. They had a few more kills in the points. I mean, we'll be able to get those scores after the break, which we'll go to shortly. But I mean, for now, I gotta say, Jerry, we have had some impactful games that have just been
Yeah.
completely negated by the goats.
We have. And every single group today has a completely different dynamic, right? We've got the next group is going to be such a scrap for the middle of the pack. 4th, 5th, and 6th seed all involved. That's outrageous that could even happen. And then the final group of the day, you've got Pulsar and Aimers up against each other, and that's always just worth tuning in for, no matter what. And also 2 other
Absolutely.
teams, Gamblers and Vatican Esports, with their own stakes on the line, right next to each other in that 8th and 9th position. Such a crucial point. So I feel like it's just going to get better and better today, Ardy. Have you anything to say before we close out for a break?
I do. Shout out to Treason for the raid. Thank you so much, Team Goats. And shout out to Sugi as well for the raid. Team Makeshift. Big shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody who has been given subs and donos. Exclamation point donate in the chat to figure out how you can donate to the prize pool. Also, every sub, every bit goes straight into the prize pool to go to these players. So thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you again, Broxton. And we will see you guys after the break.
Smile and wave.
Know you got a hold of me like I never knew. Feeling that chemistry between me and you. Cause you've been on my mind all day and making moves all night. What you gonna do with me? whatever you want to. Take five, feeling hard to explore ya. The wrist and the chills to your veins. One touch and a look and it's over, just a taste. You know I wanna love ya. Yeah, I like it how you do. You are like no other. I can't get enough of you. Pull me closer, skin to skin. Make me feel alive. I wanna love ya. Yeah, I like it how you do. There's no one like you. 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 You've exceeded all my expectations. But now without you, I'm losing patience. You're more than just someone, you're everything I want. Something about this love, I just gotta say. You know I wanna love ya. Yeah, I like it how you do. You are like no other. I can't get enough of you. Pull me closer, skin to skin. Make me feel alive. I wanna love ya. Yeah, I like it how you do. There's no one like you. 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 I like it how you do. You know I wanna love ya. Yeah, I can't get enough of you. There's no one like you. There's no one like you. There's no one like you.
Welcome back, everybody, to day 5 of the EU Pro League for the finals here on Pro Hubs. My name is Artie, joined by Jerry. We just watched Group A go absolutely insano style. It was a group that was dominated by the GOATs, but to be honest, Jerry, everybody was talking about makeshift and bad Wi-Fi. It was always hungry, this solo show for us.
Yeah, they were impressive. They really were impressive, and they managed to come out of it with a decent set of points for their efforts as well. We can see here in the top 4 the games that have already been played. Of course, we have the GOATs coming out with 490 points overall. Always hungry, not too far behind, having gotten that one first place finish and a good few seconds as well. Makeshift came last a couple of times, but also came second a few times. So they managed to get 258. And then Bad Wi-Fi, I believe, got maybe an extra 10 points on top of that. But either way, it's far behind the rest. And they're going to need a really heroic final day to climb out of the bottom 4. I think they may have to settle for a lower bracket run in the EU regionals. So we'll see how that plays out. But, of course, we've got now the teams highlighted. Team Extreme, Saints 1, NDA, and 200 Books. Before the Playday started, Team Extreme were in 11th place. They can expect probably to jump back up at least to that spot after today, but they've got really stiff opposition against these middle of the pack teams.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I mean, hey, the biggest jump that we can look at there was that Makeshift actually did make up quite a bit of points for Team Bad Wi-Fi. Didn't really do too much, only 60 points ahead of Team Extreme. So for Team Extreme, they have a really good chance to try to jump up a place and, well, especially in this group, to make some really good moves to put them in that safety net to get them a nicer bracket finish here. Coming up, the fact that we only have 2 playdays left for these groups. So, look to see for NDA, they also want to get away from that danger zone. They're in 6th place right now, and Saints 1 just above them. Less than 200 points separate them. Or NDA and Saints 1, they are really going to be needing to, well, trade some blows that first place finish in a way that matters.
And you think that's a small gap, right? 200 points between 5th and 6th. Between NDA and 200 Books, 4 points. Unbelievable closeness there. 6th and 7th separated by literally 4 points as it stands. And at the moment, they're not that far ahead of Makeshift either, but we can expect that gap to extend quite a bit today. So yeah, NDA and 200 Books are about as evenly matched a pair of teams as you could hope to come across. And Saints 1 maybe after an anomalous first day out, where they did less than impressive. They've been much better off in the past few playdays. I think they go into this group as favourites, but not by that much.
Yeah, you're right. Not that much. 200 Books has been so impressive with their run this entire set, like during the playoffs. And I want to say, especially just given the fact that watching them come out of the open qualifiers, I knew that this team had something special about them, but I didn't know if they'd be able to keep up as much as they are. And for NDA, a big shout out here, OG actually has some of the most impressive stats across all the play days. We're gonna be seeing Airshoe trade out some blows here. Airshoe takes out someone, but Emilien comes through as well. Saints 1 look to make their mark and continue their absolute star step up to the top 3 where they desperately want to be.
Yeah, we get some kills on either side. Team Extreme and 200 Books left with only a single player each. They're going to be on the back foot in their respective fights. Emilien gets caught out here. But it's a 3 versus 3 over here, and NDA are nicely grouped together. That box already having been gated away, leaving the rest of NDA to try and scramble, but they can make it to the gateway, and that proves the safety net. Grabs the totem, does OG as he moves through, because Airshoe just got eliminated there. They can't get him back up very quickly, so it is going to be a 2 versus 3 around this box. Saints 1, spy opportunity. They go for that steal immediately while NDA are trying to recover.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at it, Saints 1, they are just stable on the point, but even through that, it's OG. Like I said, some impressive stats and impressive shots, but it's Norton that cleans it up. One player left standing in the entire lobby. Krieger Blue over the other side as well. You know, he's going to be able to get the res on the strike, but what an absolute performance there as NDA. They're going to be able to take control of this cash out to start things off, and this is going to be a rough one for Saints 1 to try to come back to later.
That it is. I'm surprised NDA managed to hold that off. They regrouped well after the attempted steal. I'm surprised that 200 Books didn't try and chase them down and lock out that 3 versus 2, but they saw an opportunity to take control and they took it. Unfortunately, not well enough. Team Extreme coming in now to try and take a bite out of NDA. A different challenge in front of them. Sankelbox, the newest addition to Team Extreme, made a massive difference in last playday. Let's see how he can leverage his experience here. Manages to take down 1, 2 with the help of Executor there, doing his name justice as he executes Airshoe. And now we only have The one player left on the side of NDA is Norton the Light, who tries to make a difference, but he can't. Mickey jumps in. This is Saints 1 getting in on the action now, third partying here, and they're doing a decent job of it as Emilian finds one, but Mickey has been taken down. A 2 versus 2 between Team Extreme and Saints 1. In the meantime, 200 Books have managed to take their own control, and NDA have recovered. So we've got a 3-way melee over this cash box. Only about 20 seconds left, Artie, on it, as Team Extreme are holding the defense. Is it going to tumble outside? No, it isn't, but it falls down a number of floors here. This is going to be an opportunity here for someone to steal. It's going to be NDA that come in hot, but Mickey is down there protecting it. He sprays and prays and takes down Airshoe. Norton finding a kill, but then taking out himself. It's all over the place, but the long story short is that Team Extreme have taken that cash box, and they win their first 14K.
Wow, thanks to literally every other team. 200 Books getting involved there at the end. This is another case where a team is in control of the cash, not even there to defend it, and they still get it. The anticipation just goes wild for these teams, not knowing what's going to happen, who's going to collapse in on them at any given moment. We see 200 Books holding over in the Holto buildings, actually not contested at all. That's why they had some time to jump over, take a fight somewhere else. Hey, you guys are getting all those kill points without us. Speaking of kill points, they're still happening. Team Extreme finally gets wiped after all that time, all that yapping. Only now they're finished out. Vault 3 opened up by Saints 1, who did not, unfortunately, get to keep that last cash box. But with this vault, I'll have a good chance to try to get over there, but I believe that, well, it looks like NDA, they're actually going to be trying to gatekeep over here.
This is cool. I'm feeling very different
lucky
vibe.
spawn, though.
Oh?
A lucky spawn,
Have you seen
Cash
that?
Out C spawned right next to where Saints 1 was with a vault. They had a very difficult road ahead that was just given to them there.
That's so nice for them. They're going to be very thankful about that. I'm getting a great vibe off this point, off this group. Just to resume my previous point, it feels as though this is a lot more evenly matched, which, you know, on paper, of course it is, but everyone is giving the best that they can, right? No one's pulling their punches. Even after the first wave of cash outs, we can see the lowest placed teams still have a lot of money. They've been getting plugs, they've been getting kills. They're in it to win it. So there's no one that I would write out of this contest right now. And they're all going for everyone. There's no prioritization, no macro at play here. Everyone just wants to win in lobby. And you can tell that by the multicoloredness of the kill feed right now. Impossible to keep track, except for the fact that 200 Books have been wiped. And we see now Saints 1 happily defending their cash out. Same with NDA. There's a wipe onto Team Extreme. Both teams defending cash outs now with a bit of a breather.
Oh my God, is this a normal setup? One team per cash out right now, and both teams that are going to respawn, hopefully going to different cash outs? Jerry, is this the finals?
It could be.
We've done it.
It could be the finals without excessive third and fourth partying, which is what we saw a lot of in the prior group, in case you missed that. Every group has its different stakes. Every group has its different vibes. And right now, we can see, yes, 200 Books are prioritizing, trying to go for that dangerous crossing over to Hospital. Of course, the trick here is Strike landing a good gateway. Set one up behind cover. This nice DMAT and jump pad play to send him across without using the big pad, and he is across safely, so he can put that gateway wherever he pleases to put his team over. Krieger decides to make the jump straight away. Manda now joining him. But there goes Strike, sort of still surviving here, despite taking heavy flak at the top floor. Saints 1 are positioning themselves well here, or rather, NDA are positioning themselves well here, and they've moved that cash box out into the open, so they can play time.
Oh yeah, they could play time very well, and honestly for NDA, they have this in one of the best spots they could have it. The other side, Team Extreme, Saints 1 trading shots. Saints 1 a little bit better on him as Jordan gets wiped. Team Extreme is out. Maybe Saints 1 finishing their cash out, but here, Sector 6, still NDA in control. 200 Books trying to change that, but all of the goo, all the destruction makes it hard for them to manipulate the cash out in their favor. For NDA, it's the best case, still holding on, kiting around the corners, kiting around every which way. No picks have been granted just yet. 200 Books going to have to try to go for the steal. OG misses the winch, but they are going to be able to jump in and take the shots there. Anyway, Norton and OG find one pick each. Airshoe does go out. He gets taken out by someone there. Saints 1 gets involved. NDA, they're going to be able to finish the cash out here. Strike narrowly avoid. Never mind. Strike gets taken away. We're going to be seeing Vault 5 get opened up here by Saints 1, but Team Extreme, they're already closer to cash out A. This is going to be a very bloodbathy vault fight.
Bloodbathy indeed. And NDA, you have to credit them there. They kited so effectively, didn't really give their opposition a chance to get on the point or get the kills rather. They had the opportunity to go for the point the whole time, but of course 200 books were never going to take that bait. They had to find the kills. NDA made it impossible for them. So really good objective-based play there by NDA. And their kills may not be very high, but that's not what matters in this game. They are not taking every fight that they need to. They're only taking every fight that they have to. They're only taking the fights that they need to. Here we go. Looking at now the hotel building, and our second wave of cash outs are going in. Team Extreme have already plugged, but they're taking some flack here from Saints 1, who are in the same building. It's already part of the hurdle surmounted there. And there's the jump pads being hit by Saints 1 to try and position themselves above. Oh, someone taking a lot of flack, but he is able to survive. Mickey getting on that steal already. Executor coming up close. And he almost gets it, does Mickey, but everyone on Team Extreme finds their kills. They win their one, and that's an exceptionally quick wipe going against Saints 1.
Gonna be seeing now Cash Out B still in control. 200 books. Take it away off screen. Talking in chat a little bit there. I can't even name 200 books, Jerry. It's a lot of books. And to be honest, for 200 books, I think if they have read 200 books, that is a lot of knowledge that, well, it might be taken away from their finals performance here. Not a lot of books about W key pressing, but for OG, he's got enough of that skill just built in, born with that natural talent. They're going to be able to hold down, make sure that this cash out is not taken away from them here as Saints 1 finally finds a way to get involved. Mickey goes down super low, is going to be picked off by Norton, but Norton and OG get taken themselves. It's just down to Airshoe, has a good stall potential here. The timer's ticking down. You see Amelia and someone try to go for the steal, which will cause Airshoe to get out. He's going to be jumping through. Airshoe was waiting for him. Oh, sorry, not Airshoe. Amelia was waiting for him. He's going to be able to get that winch, get that perfect steal. That's Saints 1 in control of Cash Out B. Absolutely incredible.
Wow, Saints 1 getting that steal on their side as well and taking down the majority of Team Extreme, leaving only Jordan and Executor up. But unfortunately, Team Extreme still have control, and that is it. There we go. Very nice defense going out from Team Extreme as they secure themselves a second place finish despite immense pressure from all sides. And the coins have landed. It's Saints 1 with the victory. Team Extreme second.
Wow. That was such a fast matchup there. And for Saints 1, it felt so close at every point. I mean, the very first cash out, Saints 1 not finishing it felt like they were kind of on their last legs. But, like, right at the beginning. But then they just, clutched it up. They're like, hey, second cash out's the only one that matters. We made that work. Last cash out, they focused on that fight. They really found a way to just cut NDA off. They broke through the kiting that NDA is usually so good at. And they just got that final steal right when it mattered most. But to be honest, Team Extreme finishing second place is massive. They're going to need a lot of these second place finishes with high kills in order to make up for the fact they are currently towards the bottom of that leaderboard. And already with a finish like that, they genuinely could have already made up the gap.
Yeah, and those gaps do not look massive, as we have said a number of times. So, yeah, it's a very close game, a very close group, as to be expected. Saints 1 have come out on top, which is the way that we might have predicted. Well, okay, no, I'm going to be less humble about it. I predicted that. And Team Extreme, though, coming out with a second place finish. That I didn't. So, really impressed by them so far. Sam has been a revelation on this side. It has to be said. Mid-season, coming on in and giving them just a massive heavy buff. I love to see it.
100%. I will say, though, for 200 books, this is best case scenario that, NDA 200 books, they're so close in that scoreline. Finishing third, or for 200 books, finishing fourth, at least NDA finished third, right? I mean, for them, it's like, we're close enough. That's fine. Just have to make sure that they clutch up at the end and make up that point differential. And for NDA, though, that it had to have hurt because they were in control of every cash out that Saints 1 kind of came out and contest of. And Saints 1, like I said, they are going to be pushing. They have had some incredibly strong performances over the last few game days where they finish. I think they've had a couple 4 first place finishes in a row. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, they just got to keep that rolling.
Yeah, just stay on that train. Keep that momentum going. Now, I am considering next stream I'm going to name 200 books. I feel like that's good content.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You can hold me to
let's start now.
Oh no, because then I'll have a head
start now.
Okay, The Catcher in the Rye.
Okay, I'll start as well. Let's do the catcher and the ride too.
I've just realized that was our producer in our ear saying he's going to pull the plug on this stream if we keep doing this bit. So
Okay.
I think for the good of the esports scene, we might have to park this. Sorry, everyone. I know some of you would have liked that. Tune into No, I'm not going to actually promote our stream. That'd be really crappy of me. All right, yeah. But you can follow us on our socials. So here we go. NDA going in for the first cash out against 200 books. A lot of bites being taken out of 200 books, but Manda gets a big old chunk of Norton. Norton being brought back up. There's the winch, and that will be a delayed hook, which works out nicely as he lands the shot, but the goo giving an escape option there for... I believe that was Krieger Blue before he was finished off by Airshoe, and now Strike taking down Airshoe, Norton taking down Strike. We're watching this all from OG's perspective, who's finding Manda with his back turn, and surely he should win this fight. There we go. That's the way. NDA winning that very close fight, 200 books ever so slightly behind, as has been established.
And Team Extreme winning a pretty insane diff up against Saints 1. The timing over there was impressive. They're going to be able to go ahead and get the plug over towards the estate, sponsored by Volpe. And also got a second Volpe cash out there with the construction site being plugged in by NDA. So Team Extreme, they have a good setup here. They are going to be actually spawned on by 200 books. They're going to jump over from the open office, see if they're going to have a clean run-up. They are not. Team Extreme already finding them out, taking those early shots in the park. Krieger Blue on the pike. Well, this is a good opportunity to see that pike shine in one of the best places for it on this map. They get that long-range engagement, but Team Extreme, they have the height advantage.
They do. Oh, you say that, but down they come from the gateway. That gives them a momentary height advantage, but not one you necessarily want as they get picked out of mid-air. Jordan finds Krieger Blue Strike, taking down Samcox in reverse, and then the res coming through. So Team Extreme only still in a 2 versus 2. Down goes Strike, only up to Manda now. Once again, the heavy here, trying to keep himself alive, but this time Team Extreme prove his undoing. 200 books, can't catch a break.
And, wow, got a little bit dark there thanks to the smoke, but NDA, they're going to be manipulating that cash out a little bit down. Saints 1, they're trying to pull this into a spot. It's good for them. Oh, but through the DMAT, didn't close that hole. Almost finds a kill to Million thanks to some really well-timed healing from someone. Million stays alive. NDA, they're hiding. Norton invises to the sidelines and somehow narrowly avoids it, but even though he picks up Mickey, someone does get the refrag. Million gonna go down as well. It's just down to this. Someone, he could finish this off. Oshi and Airshoe, they're both one shot each. He only finds one. Airshoe narrowly avoids it with one well-timed pike shot. 1 HP, a dream, and a cash out that they should have full control over. Saints 1 gonna be spawning in 14 seconds. Well, they'll be able to find for the next vault. Over the other side, though, we see Team Extreme still battling it out. They are still in control there, but just down to Jordan to get the stall. NDA could have a proper chance at this. No, it's going to be 200 books having a proper chance at this. I mean, man, no, it's not pulled out in the right spot. Jordan just has the better positioning. That's Team Extreme starting out in first place here.
Huge for them. Absolutely huge for Jordan as well, being that last man standing up against Manda again. The closest of fights back over on construction as well. Let's just talk about that for a second, because OG, he stays alive when no other heavy should. I really feel like that's how he's managed to amass the kills that he has so far this season. In case you're wondering as well, one of the highest fragging players at one point during the season. Not 100% if that's stayed the same, but I mean, it feels like it, right? He's been fragging out every single Playday.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, that was a really close fight. Again, we come to expect that in this group. And right now, we can see Team Extreme at the top of the pack. NDA not that far behind them. Seminal second places, it feels like, in this league. At some point, they're going to get their wins. But we can now see a lot of players converging on C. This looks like it's going to be a 3-way fight.
3-way fight going to be opening up here in the open office. And it does look like early on 200 books to take a lot of damage, but they are in a good spot to try to mitigate, come back to form here. They do recombine as a team down in the servers. Team Extreme in control for now, and they really want to just kite as long as possible, take full advantage of this third party. And Saints 1, they're going to take full advantage of the fact that there's no teams over there. Whether or not they're going to take a page out of Goat's book and try to grief, well, I'll have to wait another minute to see. For now, Team Extreme held up on the bottom. They've got 2 teams in between them. 200 books right above, NDA over to the sides. NDA might have evacuated this point, though. They could have just decided it's not worth it. They are now padding over to Saints 1 there. And, well, someone has already taken some pot shots. We're going to see Team Extreme still in control. Cash out all the way at the bottom floor. It's 200 bucks. They really have to find a way to enter in, but Team Extreme, they're really good at kiting. This open office, Jerry, it's so good for kiting.
Yeah, I think Team Extreme actually were a little bit late there. They thought maybe they should have abandoned this push, but then they saw that there was a team that had left this to a 3 versus 3, so now they're going to go and commit to this push over here against Team Extreme. Team Extreme taking a bit of flak there. Executor having to move back, but Samkobox is leading the charge. He doesn't find the kill at the front of him, and there comes Manda to close him down, wins that heavy duel. In comes Jordan, though, takes out Manda, and it's a 2 versus 2. Krieger Blue brings back his heavy, and then a storm of kills coming out. Krieger Blue and Strike finishing off Team Extreme with plenty of time left to commit to the steal. They should hold on to that absolutely cleanly. Let's tune in over onto the other box now as Saints One are being chased down somehow. How is he still up? How is Emilian survived? OG! That is a fumble and a half, and now it's a 2 versus 2 over here. Emilian and someone could claw it back. Norton is the last one standing for NDA, trying to steal this point, and he's being pinned down by someone. There's a heavy and a light in front of him. I don't think he wins this fight. Someone takes him out. Saints won. I don't think they know how lucky they just were.
Wow, I mean, Emilian was running on pure adrenaline there. We saw him run out there. The C4 just does not come back yet. He doesn't have anything to throw down there. He just pulls it out because he knows he has to stall possibly. Doesn't even think about the winch. Insane. Just straight up adrenaline and norepinephrine running in the system. Saints won only 1,500 up in front. They do get the tap there. 2,000 in front. We will say someone and Mickey, they grab a couple kills there as well, just to try to even the odds a bit more. Up against 200 bucks, they do finalize that team wipe there. Team NDA gonna be fighting over here for control over the estate sponsored by Volpe. OG gonna go down. Team Extreme doing what they can to stay up. Executor on just 5 HP. Is he gonna be able to survive? Let's find out. Looks like he is. NDA somehow not finishing it. There it is. Airshoe gonna get the kill. Team Extreme down 1 player. NDA gonna make that down a little bit more. Still Jordan alive. He's done crazy work before, but not this time around. So cash out A started by Saints 1. Cash out B gonna be in charge of NDA.
NDA with a hill to climb here, but not a mountain. As you can see, that puts them in contention for first place. Of course, realistically, they're only fighting for second because someone else is going to get that cash out. But look how close the cash tallies are as it stands between second, third, and fourth. So kills may come into it, as I like to say, at the very end of this. Saints 1, though, way out ahead just a little bit. If they can hold on to a cash vault, or sorry, a cash out, then they should come in first. No questions asked. They have some fighting to do, though, as they're being sandwiched here between 200 Books and NDA. That cash out right out in the open. OG does find someone for the opening kill of this engagement, and they have an opening to try and get this cash out secured with about a minute left on the timer. 200 Books have managed to put mostly an end to Saints 1. Mickey here to defend his cash out, but I don't think he's going to find the angle. In fact, he does, focusing OG at range, but the steal is completed by NDA, and now 200 Books with their own opening. 2 versus 2 against NDA. Saints 1 flooding back to defend their cash out. Mickey denies it, but they have to steal it back. He's getting more kills, but he's taken out. No, in fact, he finds 2. That's Norton gone. That's Airshoe gone. NDA only left with OG defending their cash out, Ardy.
Wow, and with OG, he does have the potential to stall this out, but not against the entirety of Saints 1. They do finalize the steal there, and OG does go down. Saints 1 in control of it with really good timing here towards the end. Only 40 seconds left on the clock for the entire match. Team Extreme is still in control of theirs, though NDA, they're going to try to get involved as best they can. Airshoe and Norton, their last chance to try to get some kills here before being sent all the way down to the shackles of third place. Team Extreme, they are holding on for now, trying to kite as best they can.
Vicky and Emilian defending their cash out. I'll come to talk about them as they managed to rack up first place confirmed here. We can see now as we go in with cash out B. Only a few seconds left for Team Extreme to hold on to this. They're not facing enough pressure, it seems. In comes Airshoe to try and stick the steal. He's behind some goo, though, and that will deny him the flip. And that will secure Team Extreme a second place finish for the second time in a row behind Saints 1.
Wow, an incredible performance here. Good workup from everybody involved, but I gotta say, for 200 Books, it's a bit surprising to see them just sort of not come to form when the world needed them most, Jerry. But yeah, a great finish there by Saints 1, to be expected on Skyway Stadium. I don't think they've ever had a bad time on this map, but yeah, 200 books coming in last place. But Team Extreme, this is a phenomenal standout for them, just by way of a couple really good cash outs.
Yeah, and I have to say, honestly, I have to praise Mickey in particular, because he was the player that stayed alive during those skirmishes, that three-way brawl out in the open by the marketplace. He cut through the chaos to find OG while he was going for that steal, and after that point, they were able to spawn back in and control the point yet again. They got the steal after wiping out enough of their opposition. I don't think they managed a clean team wipe against either of those parties, but they got control and they re-stole the cash out. So huge from them, and it's those sort of plays that put them just that little bit above the rest of the teams in this lobby over the course of this season. Of course, you know, this is going very much the script from Saints 1's perspective, but let's talk about Team Extreme, right? They came in as the bottom-seeded team in this group. They're currently sitting last place, full stop, because Bad Wi-Fi have already played, and they've gotten two second-place finishes in a row. That is massive for them.
That's actually completely wild. I mean, for Team Extreme, that's more than made up the gap. That's also put them in pretty good competition to try and get up to a point where they can remain competitive with 10th place, 9th place, etc. That being said, it's going to be a very big shot in the dark to get, some first place finishes with 20 kill games, trying to see if they can get into that upper echelon. But again, this is what you want to see. This is what we expected to see for Saints 1. This is also just really good. Remember that Saints 1 did have one pretty bad day that allowed them to just sort of sit towards the bottom and allow Goats, Aimers, Pulsar to, keep racking up points and get well ahead of them. But, Saints 1, after that day, locking in fully and making sure to just maintain consistent first place performances across the board. Today is the day where they really need to decide whether or not they want to stay up and competitive for that top 3 spot.
Yeah, and this is a very forgiving format, it has to be said, but you need to be trained against having those bad days. Later down the line, you cannot afford to have one day where you're just off the boil. And so far, we've seen that happen to, say, Saints 1. We've seen it happen to Pulsar Esports, two very capable teams. If they want to be really up and fighting with the best of the teams, not just from EU, but also in NA, they need to find ways to avoid those bad days. Of course, this is a good day for Saints 1, so they need to capture this, bottle it, and use it in future instances of bad days. I don't know how you do that. I am not the esports coach, RD. You would know a lot more about this than I would. But Team Extreme coming in hot for the tap on Vault 2. Saints 1 taking a very vertical stance here.
Oh, yeah. Pretty good overall. And look at that. Great shots there by someone to keep Emilian alive. Team Extreme will be losing one thanks to that heal beam, honestly. On the other side, we see OG fighting it out with Manda. 200 books and NDA on the other side of the map. But in Petrodel Plaza, it's going to be a very dirty fight here as, Team Extreme going to try to find their moments of opportunity to get a pick onto Saints 1. But I don't think it's going to come to form. Executor and Jordan both going to go down. It's going to be a wipe for Team Extreme. Saints 1 going to be taking it all the way over to the data center to start things off. Next cash out going to be over on the construction site there. Looks like NDA has control of that one, Jerry.
Yeah, and these are going to be very synchronized cash outs as well. Not too much of a stagger going on. Slightly ahead of the pace of Saints 1, but not in any meaningful sense. So, expected to be a fairly synchronized game, and we will see just how much of a flame this construction site proves to be for the moths that are fluttering around. It can be attractive, but 200 books have decided to avoid it and go straight for billboards. My Saints 1 are holding a very strong vertical position. In fact, Team Extreme have also gone that way too. Of course, it being indoors does mean that vertical stance makes it a little bit harder to hold. This is a very stealable cash out. I feel like whenever this is in my ranked games or my World Tour games, it changes hands a number of times. It's not the easiest point to defend.
Yeah, not the easiest point to defend by a long shot, but for Saints 1, staying in control of this one is going to be everything. And it's all about kiting, especially taking that height. A lot of different ways that you can play this point. A lot of teams opt to just play inside of the building rather than up on top of that ultimate height underneath that billboard. But for Saints 1, they're going to choose a little bit in between. That's going to be so difficult. The 200 books, well, they just decide it's easier to just be the third party. As soon as Jordan gets taken out, NDA down to one player remaining, 200 books says, hey, well, that was easy. We should have done this at the beginning.
Very smart. I mean, great adaptation from 200 books. They saw that the other team that was third partying decided to abandon their ship, so they thought, you know what? yeah, we'll go third party. And Saints 1 must be loving life, right? They were thinking, oh god, we're gonna have to fight 6 people at once, and then suddenly none. They just all gave up. So yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes. NDA gonna feel a little bit rough after that because they weren't able to fend off 2 teams at once. Krieger Blue getting himself up on a perch here with the protection of some goo. And that should help to see out that construction site. I don't see anyone stealing A anytime soon. B is under some pressure from Team Extreme, who are finally committing to this, but Saints 1 have the luxury of setup. They've had the luxury of time to coordinate and make sure that this defense is as airtight as possible. They've thrown all sorts of utility at that box, and no way do Team Extreme come out with anything to show for it. They are already wiped. We can now see this cash out on construction playing out. Unfortunately for NDA, they are just a little bit late to the punch. Can't reclaim theirs. So they only have to settle for the plug money instead. They're way out in front of Team Extreme, but still in third.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, some really, really great performances off the rip. And Team Extreme, just unfortunate luck, unfortunate timing. 200 books, I mean, you know what? Second place right now, but it felt like only barely. See now as Air Shoe takes out Jordan once again. Team Extreme, they just find themselves at sort of a really rocky position whenever they get into these fights. And Saints 1, another phenomenally easy point for them to take control of. They have Vault 3 plugged directly into C, but what is that? A spy is amongst them as NDA. They already have Norton just placed inside the bridge, not being dealt with. And Team Extreme also going to be jumping over. Godsent is destroyed. Team Extreme now down on the patio of green. We will try to make it indoors there. They do make it inside, but NDA is also... Oh, NDA is evacuated. NDA has decided it's not worth it. Not worth it even for the third party.
I think Norton was possibly trying to go for... I'm not sure if he has another fire, but either way, you might have been able to get that steal play as the solo player over there, or get that gateway across for his team. But yeah, just deciding that it's not worth going to third party on Hospital. You have to commit so many resources. This is a top floor hold as well. Very defensible for Saints 1, especially the way they're playing with these ARs out in the open. They want you to come to them. And this is an excellent hold so far. We find one. The trade is there, though, from Jordan as 2 versus 2. Mickey is taking some flak, but someone closes that gap, and that is the wipe almost as Executor decides it's not worth sticking around. Jumps off the edge of the building to try and reset.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to reset up against that. Saints 1 should be sitting pretty good. It's pretty well insured, to say the least. Possibly insured by Holto, if anybody. Going to see Cash Out D now. Get really, really crazy. I'm not even going to try to figure out what's happening right now as OG just takes out Strike somehow in the midst of it. Krieger Blue still alive. The chunks are coming through. OG finishes him out. And, well, that fight was one of the fights of all time, as now
Goo
NDA
MVP.
takes control.
Goo MVP, honestly. NDA did not take any damage in that, thanks to goo canisters exploding in the faces of 200 books. Norton finding Executor as well, as Team Extreme try to play spoiler to this steal, but they're not doing a great job of it. Sam, though, is picking up the slack, taking out OG. That is the heavy on top on the side of Team Extreme. That could be massive. It depends if we see a res coming through from Airshoe, but I don't think they have the chance to grab the heavy's totem. Now it's a 3 versus 2.
No.
There we go, Resis. There's a full reset, but here come 200 books in with the gateway, and maybe a little bit of an early third party. Pull the trigger a bit too soon. We see Sampleworks trying to stick the steal behind the goo, but unfortunately that goo denies him the steal itself. Krieger Blue and Strike finding kills apiece. Strike finding another. The gun's coming live for 200 books as they're wiping out everyone in their faces. Jordan is the only one left standing from any of these teams. He has to try and deny this steal. He's not even doing it for himself, though. He's just trying to get the kills, and there is the flip. Manda finds Jordan. 200 books. I said they pulled the trigger early, but I was mistaken.
I mean, sometimes it's all about getting that early positioning through the chaos as NDA and Team Extreme trying to find the shots on each other. 200 books, you know, they got that wisdom from somewhere. Say that much. You see 200 books now. Strike going to be surviving that engagement from Emilian as he dives down in. We're back to the data center here. They're going to be looking to try to get early control over B, which is up at the top, the ultimate height. NDA, though, they are set up well, but not well enough to try and take control early. Instead, Saints 1, they do lose someone, but the question is, who will actually get the plug here? 200 books currently in the lead. Saints 1 tied up, basically just 1 kill behind. NDA, they really need to get both the plug and the point. So Norton's going to do just that. Plug has been confirmed there for Cash Out B. If they are able to take this with a few more kills as well, that would secure them a very much needed first place position.
It is all to play for. Really tight here, of course. The top 2 positions so close on cash. And it's, of course, Team Extreme behind and NDA behind that have control of these boxes at the moment. NDA or Extreme taking some time to actually get theirs plugged, interestingly. Maybe just toying with the timer a little bit. They do eventually get that started, I'd say. Yeah, I'm really confused about why they're waiting. Maybe they're just
it's good kiting.
They're confusing the opposition. You can see the pings coming in from
the
someone.
double bounce! It's insane! The jump pad into the extra height out the gateway, and it takes out Norton, but someone gets traded out as well. Emilian's still alive. OG down to just 1 HP. The double happens. Now every team is fighting here as well. Jordan and Executor, last 2 alive for Team Extreme. Saints 1 trying to recombine. Mickey looking to see if he can possibly find the totem, but he can't. Emilian's gonna get taken out, and Saints 1 is wiped away. Now with this double, there's only 1 minute left. As NDA retains control, they're just staying out. It's up on the rafters now, dropped off of the max height, but it's going to be even easier for NDA to hold control of now. Team Extreme, they drop it down to the very bottom. 200 books, they're everywhere, and they're all at once. We're going to see NDA to the sidelines. Everybody getting pieced out by different teams right now. Airshoe gets taken away by Jordan from Team Extreme. 200 books, they're also trying to chase down OG once again. Very little HP, manages to stay alive. Strike goes down. Team Extreme finds another pick. Team Extreme, the most stable looking right now. But as I say that, they also get Saints 1 back in the fight. They're going to be here soon. There they are. 200 books. They're still down. It's going to be another pick from Team Extreme, but it's traded as Mickey finds one. Emilian finds another onto NDA. Finally, OG's removed. But Saints 1, they want this cash. They want this steal. Emilian's holding. There's no more heals left. He's taken away. It's just down to this. OG and Airshoe, they're holding on for dear life, but Team Extreme got the point anyway. Wow, Team Extreme, a much needed first place finish. Saints 1 down in 3rd place with 200 books in 2nd, but the doubling was wild.
Unbelievable. It had to happen. Team Extreme had to get that double. It was the only chance they had for first place. But the battle between Saints 1 and 200 books, they were tied for cash that whole time. And it just came down to kills. Saints 1 pulled ahead with about 10 seconds left. And then 200 books hit 3 kills at the death to steal 2nd place back from Saints 1. Team Extreme, though. How about that for a gamble? They doubled and they stole, jumping from last to first. You don't see it every day, but it's so satisfying when you can pull it off.
Absolutely. I mean, it's exactly what happened at the cash out that was near the near the apartments earlier, where we had a very big setup of just third party after third party and 200 books. They just stuck it. And if they didn't just stick it when that third party situation was happening, they wouldn't have ended in 2nd here. But I mean, for Team Extreme, say, hey, everybody's fighting. We're just gonna take this real quick. Wild set of events, especially falling all the way from the ultimate height on the billboard all the way down to the bottom, stopping at every step of the way, giving teams a little opportunity, a little glimpse. Say, hey, this could be yours. But yeah, I mean, we've been talking about the whole day. Team Extreme needed a first place finish, but for Saints 1, this hurts really bad. That's 2 non-first place finishes. Is it? Oh no, I'm wrong. That's
no,
1.
They won everything so far.
They won everything so far.
Time.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the first time not coming first, and it's a 3rd place finish. So yeah, and it was really just down to kills at the very end. So you got to credit 200 books for climbing out of that hole. They've been right down the bottom, 2 last place finishes on Fortune and Skyway, and now a 2nd, and off the back of a decent performance as well. It is going to sting though for NDA, who were holding on to that box for so long at the very end, and then had to deal with a double, right? You know, they were in a decent spot. They could have climbed up into 2nd, and then Team Extreme had other ideas. They played the game that they needed to play, and wow, absolutely huge. Team Extreme looking really hot. 2nd, 1st is their record so far today. The only way is up for this team, quite honestly. I know I keep glazing Samplebox, but he was a really impressive player on his previous rosters, and coming in now, they really do just look like a different team. This is a team that are currently 11th seed at the start of the Playday. I would expect them to end this season maybe with a top 8 finish to get them out of that lower bracket.
I gotta say real quick, we got the points already thanks to our amazing team working in the background to keep all the scores updated for you guys. Team Extreme already at 261 points on the day. There's still 2 maps to go, and they have already more than 20% of their overall score has come from today. Absolutely insane performances. Let's see if they can keep that up here. Again, all about that macro. We'll see now as Team Extreme looks to continue that same energy up against NDA, who is in control of this vault. Over the other side, we see Saints 1 piecing out 200 books. They're already wiped away, but no plugs just yet, as it looks like both these vaults are dangerously close to cash out B.
Krieger Blue being wiped out there, meaning 200 books are out of the picture. Saints 1 can grab cash out 2, unless Airshoe thinks it's a bit tasty. They've already plugged on B. They're being a bit greedy here, maybe considering taking cash out or vault 2. So no, they're just going to let that move. Saints 1 will head on over to the other side of the map, and there's already a lot of action going down on cash out B. We see Team Extreme committing to the steal and getting it, as NDA maybe took their eye off the ball a little bit there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was just one moment of weakness that, well, Team Extreme found their way through. And for NDA, that kind of changes their entire positioning they've been setting up for here, trying to look to see, well, did they just start the steal? They kited out. Well, Norton just finds a pick on a Jordan really early on. We've seen Norton get really, really insane results from that invis, and just as well, we've seen OG get some insane results off the winch, and that's a Team Extreme wiped away early.
I can't believe how beautifully coordinated that push was. The glitch barrel, the DMAT, the winch, all thrown up in the air literally by a jump pad. And it made him miss his shots. And then NDA won the fight. They really shouldn't have. Well, that's just a finals moment, I would say. Someone up on the top here, taking a lot of damage. He's trying to find his teammate there to get the heals, get the res, leaving Emilian to deal with it, and he knows that Emilian can deal with it. That's 2 kills for the Heavy. Bit of support from range. And now it's Heavy versus Light as Strike. He's going to deal with Emilian. That 93R in the hands of Strike is a beast to contend with, but he's worth the wear, to say the least, so he's going to head to safety. Team Extreme just sort of skirting about on top here. Saints 1's box has progressed quite substantially. We've got about 40 seconds left on this, but Saints 1 are really out of sorts. They're out of position. They do manage to jump up into spot there. Mickey hits the DMAT, and it does tumble down a couple of floors into the jump pad. 200 books are also getting in on the action, causing some problems.
But Mickey gets picked!
Oh, that's not good for Mickey. That's not good for Saints 1. Emilian last alive as the wipe is almost there for NDA. They can try and commit to a second attempt on this steal, but 200 books are coming in now.
Oh, wow. Every team is involved now after NDA finished their cash out. They're hungry. They're taking a page out of the GOAT's books. They can't hold out just yet. Krieger Blue is going to be traded out, but Manda finds one now into Emilian. Saints 1 trying to recombine, come back here. Manda on the steal. Is there anyone here to stop it? Is anybody going to let this happen? Oh, the heals! The heals work out, and 200 books. They get the steal right under the clutches of Saints 1. That's going to be a wipe as well.
Strike MVP right there. The heal and the steal, and then he wipes Saints 1 afterwards? What? He didn't even need to do that. He didn't even need to do that. That's disgusting. Team Extreme. Ooh, that is a rough-looking scoreboard for them. Not a single kill between Jordan, Sam, and Executor. Only 2,000 for possibly tapping a couple of vaults early on. They need to wake up. But they've got an apply, so that should make a difference.
Exactly. I mean, Team Extreme, you know, they got that early win that they were able to get the steal. Still not able to hold on. We got to see them do that again. Right now, let's see what's happening here. A little bit of kiting around the vault. A lot of util being dedicated to just the vault, but now the cash out is plugged. Gonna be NDA. But if this fight that's going on through here, 200 books, they're not going to do that lightly, but even so, hard to take out both OG and Norton when you got to deal with everybody. NDA gets a full recombine here on the Alpha Active building. Jump over to the Angimo building, where the next fight will be Team Extreme in control at the very beginning, trying to take away Saints 1's stability. Someone trying to dash in, make something work out. He kites rather well, but he is taken away in the end. And, well, Team Extreme, I think they're a lot more stable on this point now. They have a little bit more control over where this cash out goes, Jerry.
Yeah, things are clicking. They're getting the kills. They'll hope that that continues, of course. It will only put them in a second place behind NDA, who are currently way out in first with a box in control as well. Cash out D looks like it's being abandoned by 200 books. Or maybe they're just testing the waters here, trying to find a different approach. This is indecision personified right here by Manda. He's trying to find a way across. He's his teammates with him. Of course, Krieger Blue will open up that wall for him. They can make a clean approach, winching that into a relative safety, a bit more cover, but now NDA can circle. They're not pulling the trigger just yet, though, the orange team. They want to find that spot, and there it is. The dome comes down, the winch, and that will secure the kill against Manda. The heavy wins the battle. OG with his second, and Norton taken down, but it's only Strike. We've seen him put off some heroics so far. He gets 2, but not enough, as OG is just that bit better. Airshoe brings him up. And now we tune into Cash Out C, which is only a few seconds away from success. Team Extreme just defending these with all their might. Saints 1 looking worse for wear. Mickey being splattered against the wall there by Jordan, who is joined by Emilian as well. Jordan, the 93R is really coming into force in this lobby.
Oh yeah, Team Extreme, that's what I was talking about before, that stability that they were looking for. But for NDA, securing this cash out means pretty much securing first place. I mean, 34K is still a number that could be overcome if Team Extreme gets a plug and manages to hold that cash out. But for NDA, it's a good number to be at this late into the game. For Saints 1, they're going to need a miracle. They're going to need to gamble a little bit here, which could be a key indicator to what might happen here. There is a chance that the double happens on this final cash out if Saints 1 has anything to say about it. See 200 books stand to try and get an early gateway, direct deposit, Vault 5. It's going to land. It's going to be everything for them. They do get the plug here. Exactly what they needed to just try and cover that gap. But Jordan has other plans. He's going to be able to wipe Manda early out. And once more, it's just down to Strike for 200 books. We also could see the NDA. They're going to be trading blows back and forth with Saints 1. Currently, cash out being stolen. Team Extreme, they do what they do best. They take a cash out. It wasn't theirs to begin with. But Mickey finally coming to form here. It's just down to OG versus someone, and someone pays them out. There's a few HP remaining. Saints 1 have finally won a much-needed fight. And that means that they could get early control over the next cash out. But will they go for the double? The vault is here.
It's going to be very behind the pace if they go for a single cash out here on A. And of course, it wouldn't put them in contention for first place. At best, they can hope for second, but even then, it would be difficult. Team Extreme have had the chance to set up here against 200 books, and it is working in their favor as Executor and Sample find kills aplenty. Jordan tries to add himself to that kill feed, but Krieger Blue is proving a little bit more wily. There we go. That's a team ace of sorts coming out for Team Extreme. 1 kill each, as they see out the timer for cash out B. Interestingly, Saints 1 have gone for the single on A. They would prefer the control over the chaos of having to plug and then steal.
No, they're going to be going. They're going to be going for the steal
from by NDA.
NDA is here just saying, hey, you made that a lot easier for us than it needed to be. NDA just chasing as Emilian's just taken away, making someone have to run for their dear lives. I think Saints 1, they wanted to try and get the plug over here and then run over to the other cash out, try and maybe fight for both given the stagger, but potential is just not there when NDA comes in between you and leaving the building you signed up for.
Saints 1 really suffering from a poor early game here as they just lose control of everything, and the decisions are made for them. Team Extreme look like they're going to see out their side and claim what could be a first place depending on, well, no, it will be a second place almost certainly. NDA holding on to this would give them the first place, but the steal is coming out from 200 books. They would need this and a few kills to steal first, but they are forced off of it. That goo comes out. The denial is there. Unfortunately, though, for the defense, they are taking flak from Saints 1 as well, and every team, in fact, seems to have NDA's number. OG goes down. That's a wipe against NDA. They have 30 seconds to hope that no one can steal this box, as all 3 teams now remaining trying to converge here and steal it. We have now 200 books looking pretty rough as Manda's the last one standing. Team Extreme, only 2 players. No one is at full strength here. It's going to be scraps. It's going to be 1 versus 1s. Jordan finds an opening to try and go for the steal, but someone is on Overwatch. Can he get the pick?
Oh,
No,
Team Extreme, he's going to get it.
Leave it. Team Extreme might just have this as the res comes through for them. 200 books are at full strength now, but it doesn't matter because there's only 10 seconds left on the timer. Krieger Blue comes in comes the domes, but Team Extreme are playing spoiler. They can defend their cash out. They have the guns, and they can get the kills. Jordan with 3 to defend the point after the steal. A huge first place finish yet again for Team Extreme.
So well needed for Team Extreme. I cannot believe that they're able to pull up 2 at the same time. Wow. I mean, just look at the kills, right? It's not an impressive kill counter by any means. 16 kills. We've seen teams end with way more than that, but it's the quality of the kills that matters the most.
It's not about who you kill, but how you kill them. And yeah, Jordan was killing everything that mattered, it seemed, that game. OG with a great game as well. 9-4 is a great stat line. And for NDA, at least now, they are backed up with a good position. Second place on that podium. But wow, yeah, that's a big game for Team Extreme. Saints 1 coming last. I mean, like we said, they just struggled in the early game and they couldn't get that cash together.
I mean, it's one of those games where Saints 1 could start with pretty incredible performance, some good stability, but at the end of the day, it's about when you get those kills, when you get those steals. And Team Extreme, they said, you know what? We can't win the early thing. We can't. If we steal a cash out early, we just lose it anyway. If we steal and then we try to hold on to it, we kite, we just get third party. We're just going to be the third party. We're just going to steal at the very end, and it's going to work out for us. I'm sorry, Team Extreme. I was unfamiliar with your game.
They won both the final cash outs, right? That's what's impressing me about Team Extreme. They saw that was their win con. Saints won. It was their win con as well, but they just fluffed it. They didn't win their fights. Team Extreme came in and were like, yeah, we have to do this to win, and they executed it perfectly. That is the difference right now. Jordan, Samkobox, and Executor are stepping it up. They are making the difference in those fights. Jordan, in particular, just had an incredible game there. Strike, as well, had a really nice match for himself, but 200 Books only finishing third. So those moments, you know, the singular moments, don't matter as much when they're not right near the end, as is the way with the finals. You know, you've got to build to that climax.
Oh, exactly. And I mean, I gotta say, the invis is surprising me. The way that we're able to get all these pinch plays and like really key timings from an invis player of all things. It's so wild to see. Watching now, we're going to be coming to Assist Horizon. Again, on this map, timing is everything. Timing is a little bit different here. We'll look to see Team Extreme. Jordan going to be on the dash here. Norton still on the invis. See if NDA can make that invis pinch timing work out a little bit better this time around. But we'll look to see Saints 1 also. They need early control. They need early stability before going for crazy wild plays.
Now comes the goo to block out that entrance. Jordan's going to circle round, send out that glitch, preemptive at the DMAT hole, expecting some pressure to come through it. Samkobox is the front of this, but oh wow, that's a hefty barrel to the face of Jordan. He dashes right on out of there, knows when a fight is lost, decides not to lose it instead. Team Extreme looking a bit battered here, but so are NDA, and that is OG going down as Airshoe picks him off with the pike. But Executor stuck in his own hole, and Norton will finish him off. 2 versus 2 here. As down goes Norton, down goes Executor. Oh, but Samkobox is being chased here. Airshoe lays into him with the chunk of the pike. Can he make it too? Has to reload. Jordan finding OG. Oh, brilliant flick there from Airshoe. Reads that situation perfectly. And fights.
That's what IDA does best.
Huge.
Huge, huge, huge. Oh, wait a second. That vault does not look like it's going towards B, Jerry.
No,
we might have some turbulence in the arena coming up here if what is about to happen is what I think it is. We've got Airshoe
playing a mental game here. they're looking to rile everyone. They know what they're
absolutely.
doing here.
Oh, I mean, we've seen the lobby chat. We're not gonna pretend like we don't see that come up at the end of the game. And
exactly.
This is about to be a double on the first set of vaults. 200 Books looking a little bit happy that it's you know, that they're in control for now, but terrified for what's gonna come next. Team Extreme, they are early, lose their heavy as OG wins the difference there, but a very early reset thanks to Executor's well-timed paddles. You can see Airshoe and OG get chunked out. Saints 1 in a great spot here. Norton possibly getting caught out. The invis allows him a free escape here. Zamillion finds one on to Team Extreme's heavy. You see Jordan take out OG. That's gonna be Saints 1 down to Norton, now wiped thanks to someone getting involved. Saints 1 in the best position now to try and get the steal. But remember, this is 200 Books point. 200 Books still in control here on campus. Gonna be Manda waiting for the opportunity to just get the winch stall in the right spot. Team Extreme, though, they've restabilized up against Saints 1. Samkobox finds 2 against Zamillion and Mickey. Now just down to someone who has to try and find the time to res, but that timer's ticking. Less than 30 seconds on the clock for this cash out as it remains right now on the campus. We're looking to see 200 Books. They are not getting involved in these fights at all. They are full stall, and this is exactly what you want to see. As soon as I say that, though, Krieger Blue gets found by Team Extreme. Manda gets found as well. Team Extreme, this is what they do best. They're going for the steal.
where'd he come
Let's
off?
see if he's going to be able to hold it. He came off it for just a moment, and now 200 Book Strike comes in. He finds both. And in the moment of weakness, we had Samquabox get scared from his own light jumping in, and he came off the steal. That allowed 200 Books hold it out. NDA just donated $8,000 to them.
And Strike wins the first cash box double. He wins the vibe check. Only player alive at the end of it. Oh, what a moment of weakness. Team Extreme absolutely had a chance there. 200 books. I've got to give credit to them, right? You know, they were dealt a weird hand there. They were like, oh yeah, okay, we're going to defend this quite nicely. And then they see that this double's coming. NDA want to play spoiler to the entire lobby. And they held their own. They stayed alive. They were the only team at full strength with about 30 seconds left on that timer. And they had to hold it for at least a minute 45 or so, or a minute and a half. This is going to be a very quick game as well if things continue this way. We may see the 7th vault, the fabled 7th vault, as Volks likes to call it. Because, of course, that first vault, first cash box was way ahead of the pace before it got doubled as well. So we have got 5 minutes on the timeout, and already these 2 vaults have been tapped. We can see now OG diving on in as that DMAP play is revealed, but the winch will cost Airshoe his life. OG comes in and takes down Samquabox, though. That's a heavy advantage on the side of the NDA side, but OG unfortunately has to contend with those defibs working against him. It's a 1 versus 1 now between OG and Samquabox. Heavy versus heavy. The winches come out and Samquabox comes out on top.
Wow. I mean, I'm just on the edge of my seat there with OG. Like, he finds all the shots when he needs to. 200 Books. They have evacuated the position, and Saints won. They come in and get the steal thanks to nobody shooting them out. That being said, they could get shot in the back here, but no, 200 Bucks are not interested in Saints 1. They're interested in Team Extreme. They want to come third party here before Executor comes back up. They know there's a lack of paddles in the lobby, but Samquabox is going to be able to get the reset. The whole Team Extreme is now up and running right when they need to be. 200 Bucks now in charge, going to be winching that cash right out, trying to send that into the alleyway. They can hold from an advantageous angle. Team Extreme looking for their opportunity to strike in, but it's going to be Strike that is looking for the first moment. Look at the kiting that's going around in circles. Team Extreme, they just stick the seals. This is what they do best. 200 Bucks, they're going to slam in on it, punishing Samquabox being out of position. But we know that Jordan has the ability to dash in, take out Krieger. He does. It's going to be a very well-timed refrag. No more paddles for the side of 200 Bucks, but Executor has the opportunity to get the res onto Samquabox. We see Jordan bring in the trophy over, but as he does, Strike shooting him in the back, piecing him out. Still 200 Bucks' point, though. 200 Bucks, they recombine on the point. All 3 players still up, Jerry.
Strike lane to SmackDown really put a hamper on that push there. 3 players now up for both sides on different stories of this building. Only about 30 seconds left for them to defend. Strike being caught out here, but he does manage to kite away. There's a DMAT, though, to pin him down. Jordan finds his opposite number. 2 versus 3 here in favor of the attack, but those shots are doing havoc. They try to stick the steal. No, they fall off of it to bait that engagement down. Manda jumps in, causes some huge problems, and Krieger picks up 2. It's a 1 versus 1 between Samquabox, and no, that is Manda and Krieger Blue coming in hot there with the kills. A huge hold. They did not die in the 2 versus 3. 200 Bucks supreme.
Masterclass in kiting and just pinch timing right when you need it the most. 200 Books looking good and very much ahead of the pack. Now, for Saints 1, this is the most important vault for them. This is the last map of their group. They need to try and find a way to secure first here. The only way they can do that is if they get the plug and they finish this cash, and somehow 200 Books doesn't. And luckily for them, 200 Books probably not going to be able to get the tap or the plug here, but time will tell. We already have Saints 1 starting on their cash, but we look over to see Vault 6. The other side of the map, it's third-party Central. Already, NDA down a medium player. Norton gets his health back. We see Strike losing all of his. 200 Books going to be early on the res, trying to get Strike back up. But Team Extreme, they're looking good here. Going to be actually Team Extreme coming in contest. They have the vault. Wait a second. That's not towards cash out A.
No, it's not. That is towards cash out B. Of course, they're very far behind first place. They're already in third, but if they want to hunt for that first place spot specifically, they need this doubled because of just how far ahead 200 Books are in the standings or in the cash tallies. And we can see now Jordan's just deciding to abandon his team, commit to making sure that this box does get doubled. He's going to throw it over towards Saints 1. Now, the question is whether Saints 1 kill him and throw it away, because honestly, this doesn't favor them necessarily. They are in a position where they could claim first place just off of this cash out and
they
kills
won't have
alone.
a chance.
But there it
They
is.
won't have
It
a
is a double.
chance.
They do not get a say in matters, so Saints 1 now have to hold on to this to secure their first place.
Oh, this is just terrible. I mean, Saints 1, they don't have the best track record for being able to survive in these situations, but all they have to do is just take a page out of 200 Books' example and just hold out. Don't get involved in these third parties too early. You are in control. You are playing defense. So, that being said, unlike a normal one, you can't just kite around the sidelines here. Sam Quabox, he's just sticking it. It's not going to happen just yet. Someone finds the shots there. Airshoe takes out Executor over to the sidelines there, and Emilian, a perfect time witch. Someone having the crossfire across the street, trying to get the heals. Emilian, someone stays alive, but OG comes around the corner at the last moment. Someone going to be in a really good position to try and go for the stall here. He also needs to try to get the res if he can. Mickey coming in to make sure that that steal does not happen. He has to donate his life for it, and he will go out. Someone, though, takes out... Oh, but 200 Bucks stolen. It happened. Oh, my goodness. And Jordan takes out Airshoe. It's just down to Emilian now on Saints 1. These too far away. There's no time left. 200 Bucks. They did it a second time in the lobby. 200 Bucks.
No way! They win 2 doubled cash outs on Sis Horizon. 200 Books are the double kings, and they come out with a huge tally from that game. Their only first place finish today. They really needed that desperately to be able to pat themselves on the back at the end of the day. The funny thing is, they didn't have anything to do with the doubling that came their way. Both times, it was someone else that came and plugged it, and then they either had to defend their cash out or get the steal in the chaos. They were the beneficiaries of all that chaos. The lowest kill tallies in the lobby as well.
The craziest part of that was it wasn't even there. It wasn't even 200 Books' utility that allowed them to get that steal. NDA through the dome that prevented Saints 1 from shooting the stealer. That is the most just BM I've ever seen in a lobby here at Pro Hubs. And I have to say that for a finish like this, 200 Books finishing in first place, Saints 1 getting second, at the very least for Saints 1, it's not last place, and it's fine. 200 Books, a much needed game where they need these points to try to secure them a spot up above. For NDA getting last place there, I don't know if that was the right call, because NDA and 200 Books, they are the ones that are so close on the lines. And so for NDA to just donate that to 200 Books, the extra points there, that felt really personal against Saints 1.
It really did, and we will get to talk about this when we look at the overall standings, but just to sort of summarize here, Team Extreme have won this group, which is unbelievable, right? They were the team that came in out of the pack. We had NDA, Saints 1 and 200 Books all in the middle of the pack of the standings and fighting for those points. They were so close together. And I guess this is what happens when you have 3 teams that are going at each other's throats, right? Team Extreme rode that tide. They let everyone else do their little silly games and controlled the day. 2 first place finishes, 2 second place finishes. In fact, that Sis Horizon was their worst of the day. And it's not like they didn't put up a fight. It was just a bit of an anomaly with, 2 doubles. You never see
2 doubles.
That. Yeah.
That was an entire 9-minute match of the finals with only 4 cash outs. That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
It was quick cash. It felt like quick cash. We didn't even see the 1 point that Saints won were victorious on against NDA in the second wave because we were so focused on the other fight. So we only really witnessed 3 cash outs in total in that game as spectators. But yeah, Saints 1 coming out of that with a second place finish, probably because of that point that they won and nothing else.
I am just in shock, and I'm excited to see those points once they are fully ready. Again, I want to give a huge shout out to the biggest benefactor of the Pro League, and that's going to be Broxton. A huge shout out to Crash. He is the VIA PR Chief Officer, and with an extra 1K in the prize pool from Broxton, our teams are now fighting for over $2,000 with more on the way thanks to your generous subs and bits. Every single sub and bit here on Twitch goes back into this prize pool for the players. So a huge shout out to every single one of you that is donating to this, and a huge shout out to Broxton. Big shout out as well for helping me out with some PR issues. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, hey, we have so much more to talk about. We still have an entire group coming up after this, so don't go anywhere. grab a drink. We'll be right back after this break. It's my favorite. My God. What book do we find that tech in? Oh my God. Oh, that's so phenomenal. Crazy shit. Oh, in the Discord. I saw. I saw Orange running with money from across fucking Narnia. Oh. I will say.
I was a young kid trying to get noticed. Big underdog psychosis, but I've been blessed with a vision and focus. Back then I never been so hopeless, but I kept living with the faith in process. So ill yet no diagnosis. Thank God I had to make that progress. It's all about mindset. Bells ring when I see that drifting. Been around and back to the point that I knew that it needed shifting. Cut off the man that would drag me down till I'm feeling lifted. Like ditch him, ditch him, ditch him. You would never see me switching. I can't put you say behind my back, cause you know I can't waste my energy on people that I don't see. You never could do anything that ever faced me. I'm not the type to hold the grudge, cause I don't know. Yeah, see up in that dream, setting that pace like I'm doing up FIFA. Innovating the scene with the ether, lift up the team like follow the leader. How many times did I compromise to make deals on the side cause I got too eager? That's broke boy trying to get a feature, now I get paid for the rhythm, it's leisure. Used to be so low, reminisce way back when I was alone. Got pain from my mind a decade ago, this way that I rode was out of control. Can't tell a boy stick to the code if he got built living inside of his soul. Man, I have to pray to God to let it all go. We've been here before, if you know then you know. I can't put you say behind my back, cause you know I can't waste my energy on people that I don't see. You never could do anything that ever faced me. I'm not the type to hold the grudge, cause I don't know. Can't put you say behind my back, cause you know I can't waste my energy on people that I don't see. You never could do anything that ever faced me. I'm not the type to hold
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Although it hasn't been very long that we've been away thus far, Jerry, given the fact that I think there was some microphones happening. You guys didn't hear anything, though. What, Jerry? This is the Finals Pro League Season 1. We're in the EU. Playday number 5. Looking good.
Yeah, it is looking good. It's been a really entertaining group or day so far. We have one group left. 4 teams that know each other well, particularly our top 2 seeded teams in this group, Pulsar Esports and Aimers. Gamblers and Vatican Esports round out this group as well. Positioned 8th and 9th respectively as well. So they're going to be vying over a really important pair of positions in the standings. Of course, you finish 8th, you get that upper bracket slot in the regional playoffs. You finish 9th, you're down in the lower bracket with only 1 life. So a lot at stake for every team here. Of course, Pulsar and Aimers, they have the rivalry at hand. Atelco and Elix, brothers in arms against each other in these teams. So, a very storied matchup, to say the least.
Absolutely. And I will say, thanks to some, well-played games by Aimers and some unfortunate timing situations with Pulsar, the points are somewhat getting away from Pulsar out here. The Pulsar Esports finds themselves about 200 points away from Aimers right now. But given the fact they're in the same group, this is the right time to try to claw some of those standings back. And I will say, no caster bias, but given the fact that I am heavily involved with one of the teams here, there is going to be a lot of new things on the board. And I'm excited for this group more than any other group today.
You're teasing some stuff here. I'm excited to see what happens then. So, here we go. First map is Fortune Stadium, as it has been all day today. And we're going to lock into things here. So, Pulsar Esports. As you mentioned, a bit of a rough day last time out on Saturday. They did have to play with a sub, and it really affected them, has to be said. They weren't themselves, but back to their full strength now. And maybe they can make up for some lost ground, as Perzo, Atelco, and Lasky load into the game in orange. Aimers in pink will be definitely keeping an eye on them. That rivalry on the left side of your screens, while the Gamblers and Vatican Esports on the right-hand side, purple and red, may not actually meet each other for these opening engagements, as it's split down the middle.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, best case scenario for Team Aimers over here. Coming up against the Gamblers, and already Elix making that F-car look beautiful. The shots are raining. Gamblers already removed from the lobby. And Kareki, who's 1 HP, finally gets chased down by Roma. The M11 looking absolutely phenomenal out here. Jump back over to the other side of things and see Lasky. 9-3R tried and true up against Vatican. Irelezi runs away with his life there. Evolution looked for the area, but Double O goes out first.
And Lasky left in a pretty unenviable situation. Pulsar not quite picking up where they left off with this roster, as they're made the better of by Vatican Esports. Evolution, the sole repeater main in our entire league, and the whole of Vatican Esports, in fact, always tend to rock slightly unusual loadouts, but they make it work to an extent. So keep an eye out on them. Just if you're bored of seeing, the SA12, and I suppose they are using the SA12. But if you're bored of seeing the Pike and the FCAR, and I suppose actually the medium meta is quite diverse. Just watch these guys.
Keep
They're
going.
fun.
Keep cooking.
We will find something entertaining about them, no matter what. They are a great team to watch, usually. I'm all over the place, Artie. We're going to see Pulsar Esports coming in hot, though.
Absolutely. Pulsar is about to challenge in over the Holto building, and given this height differential, Pulsar is looking to figure out where they need to take this fight. They're going to try to pull Vatican in any certain direction. They are going to try to bait something out, kite back up at the top, and swap. Find out now is Vatican just holds steady on the beat. No need to jump in yet. They have all the info they need from those windows. Haven't quite been spotted out by Pulsar yet, which is really surprising. Over to the other side, Aimers and Gamblers trading it out, but staying here. Vatican finally being forced, taken out of the sidelines. But here it is. Pulsar jump The pad is out, and Vatican has down for the count there. Double O finds one onto a Telco. Evolution, though, gets traded out immediately. And as Lasky takes out Double O, just down to this. Irelezi finds the shots, and Pulsar, unfortunately, unable to hold on tight. Gamblers, though, they're up one, and Aimers, they are still in control, but it's about to get stolen away from them. Will that stall happen? It won't. The Gamblers falling in Devil's work. They're still alive here. A good chance now for Aimers to still hold the cash out. They've got time if they want to take the fight, and they do. After Full goes down, just down to Devil's work, and he gets wiped. And Aimers, they have time to get this steal, and they are going to stay in control. On the other side of things, Vatican, looks like there might not be enough time depending on where Pulsar spawns. So this is a great start to our games here, Jerry.
Yeah, Vatican Esports holding off Pulsar not once but twice. Impressive stuff from the lowest ranked team in our lobby right now. And of course, Aimers doing what they do best, fending off the Gamblers there. So those two squads ahead of the pace for the time being. We catch on up now with Pulsar Esports, who are making their way over to Sector 6. Try and tap Vault 3. And of course, they will have to not take this very far, as the objective has also spawned on this side. So they are building a fortress, hoping that they don't meet too much resistance. They can keep guard. Gamblers wanting to cross here and cause them some chaos, cause them some confusion. But the puzzle is so easy here to solve for Pulsar Esports.
Oh yeah, for Pulsar Esports, they're about to figure out, hey, timing is everything, and they got really good early on timing. Gamblers now saying, you know what, third party, kind of scary. Elix gets the first pick. There's no paddles left over for Vatican. Irelezi and Double Low holding on tight, but Irelezi, he wishes, pulls Ramkey a little bit too close, so the melee finishes it off. Double O stays alive, gonna try to get the reset there. He knows exactly where those trophies are. And, well, for Aimers, point is more important. They get the plug. It's not too staggered away, which is nice to see. Gamblers, they're making their way in now slowly but surely, trying and find out where Pulsar is holed up.
It's a difficult task. Of course, Gamblers have made that cross relatively unscathed. Climbing these stairs, of course, Pulsar will have a read on this. They'll be playing off audio, trying to back away. Kiriki looking to make a vaultable hole up to that point, and it's got a C4 preset on it. Now, of course, there's an option here for Kiriki to drop this a few floors in advance, but the glitch comes out to deny that. That's going to force the engagement to come in a little bit hotter from Pulsar Esports. It does get dropped, though, as eventually the C4 is re-enabled. Pulsar just playing it safe there. They're closing that distance, looking to maybe come up these stairs.
Still one more C4 on point. It drops
C4.
again.
How can there be that many C4s? Either way, Pulsar are ready for this. They come out with guns swinging, and Lasky finds his kill onto phone, and Kiriki gets that res. It's 3 versus 3 again. The heals come out. Perzon takes down Devil's Work. They are down a light on the Gamblers, and the light on the side of Pulsar Esports is laying into them with all this damage. Lasky, untouched during that fight. He let his teammates fall around him. Foden get a lot of kills during that, but Lasky being the difference maker there. And it looks like Pulsar Esports will gather the money for themselves.
Oh, yeah. And for Aimers over on the other side of things, this is looking like, well, Vatican has enough time to set up for a nice angle pad to jump over. But question is, on this Engimo building, where will Aimers play from? Now, kiting is going to be the name of the game here. Vatican trying to figure out if they have an early advantage, if they can try to stay on height. But fortunately, that pad doesn't work out exactly the way Evolution wanted it to. Team is a bit split, but that could work in their favor. Target priority is everything, as we saw from that last Pulsar fight. For now, Vatican just trying to find their way in, but wait a second. They just haven't made any moves. The timer ticking down. Pulsar finally moving over the other side, but for Aimers, they're finishing this fight up on the roof. Roma gets one. Irelezi finds a trade there. Elix has the defibs on lock, ready to go. It's 3 up, only Evolution down, but it's Aimers' point. 32K in the bank for Aimers already. It's Pulsar set up on the next vault.
Very disconnected attack there by Vatican Esports. I know what they were trying to go for there, maybe baiting some engagements with the heavy and the light while the medium goes for a point, and it's a bit of a gamble, but when you lose the fight that one-sidedly, it's difficult to justify. There we see Pulsar Esports successfully wiping Gamblers as a fight over Vault 5 erupts, and of course they are also blessed once more with a nearby spawn. This objective A is quite close. Lasky setting up that teleport, and they'll bring it straight on over and they get started immediately. Staying ahead of the pace, staying ahead of the game. That's what Pulsar Esports like to do. Aimers, though, still have more money in the pocket and will hope to get a plug soon with Vault 6.
Oh yeah, I mean that Vault 6 control looks good. Roma in a position to just get that direct deposit via the gateway. It's already going to come over. Ramke in position to get the plug. And now the question is, who will be the third party? It does look like Gamblers and Vatican might have their engagement a little bit early for the favor of Pulsar. All the way up onto height. But we check to see Gamblers, and they're waiting to make sure they're not the first ones on this engage. Slow and steady wins the race. But for Gamblers, they need a lot more money in the bank. Oh, going for height.
Interesting. Good positioning here, being taken by Gamblers.
Vatican knows something. They know that this fight is about to happen. They've been waiting so patiently here. Now as Gamblers start the engage, unfortunately doesn't quite go their way. Oh, but Vatican, they've shifted over to the other side. They're fighting aimers here. Now it's just going to be Gamblers versus Pulsar on this fight here. But Pulsar is stable. They haven't moved an inch.
No, they haven't. And at the moment, aimers are taking a bit of flack from, I believe that's Vatican Esports, who've decided to change tact, change targets. Gamblers looking to maybe shoot them in the back here and just third party on this team, get the wipe against them, make their next move a lot easier. They do exactly that. Devil's Work and Kiriki finding kills. Roma does find Kiriki in the meantime, though. Roma finds Devil's Work as well, so Gamblers committing to that third party, and it's actually costing them as they expose themselves a little bit too much to aimers in the mix of things as well. Both Gamblers and Vatican Esports plans falling flat on their faces there as Vatican is wiped out by Roma, who's strayed so far from his point, but this is just aimers controlling the map.
Are now just still holding on. Fallen, Koreki have a chance to try to make this work. Fallen just go over the seal. Why? Because why not? Because why not? Oh, wait, but still 20 seconds on the clock. Pulsar, they're headed over to now try to fight Aimers. Aimers is holding on, though, here. They've actually gotten the cash all the way. What is this point?
That is an impossible steal to make. If aimers are positioned well, doesn't really matter anyway, because there's barely any time for anyone to formulate an attack plan. They probably saw that and thought, okay, guys, 20 seconds left. We've got to make something happen. They saw that and like, oh, never mind. I need at least 2 minutes to work out how to steal that. Brilliant.
Like I said, some of these teams are going to be cooking up some incredible strats, especially given the fact that the meta in EU has been, for lack of a better term, cash out manipulation, the name of the game. We'll see aimers retain that first place spot, very well earned. And also, again, highest kills in the lobby, 16 kills for the aimers. We look at Pulsar there in second place, 11 kills to their name. And honestly, with such an immense amount of cash, 45K, it's insane that aimers was even able to top that.
Yeah, they did play nicely. it was just funny seeing how much control they had over the map during that game. And the control that Sector 6 gives you specifically, right? We saw it. Pulsar had their point where they were able to fend off Gamblers for quite a while before eventually Gamblers committed and they just won their fights over there. It's a difficult point. It's a difficult point to attack. It's a difficult point to lose if you're defending. And yeah, if you have the opportunity to go for it, you absolutely should. Now, we can see a clear chasm has emerged, right? Pulsar and Aimers on top, Gamblers and Vatican below. I wonder if this is going to be upset today.
There is a chance, right? Because if Pulsar tries to start to get involved with aimers, right, and they start to really try and fight specifically, we get the twins going head to head, right? Apart from one of the twins just coming into the other one's room and unplugging the computer or the router, to be honest with you, viable strategy. I'm just saying that there's nowhere in the rules that says you can't do that. But the thing is that would allow for Gamblers or Vatican to actually take advantage of the situation, right? That would open up, if not first place, it would open up at least possibility to take second, the possibility to third party in a way that matters. I will say though, yeah, going back to just talking about Fortune Stadium and Sector 6, like I love that Embark Studios was like, you know what? We love the hospital on Seoul. We need to reimagine it in a way that makes it easier to contest, easier to fight. And then every single pro player in the finals said, hold my osboos. And it's just so beautiful to see that. And that's just the first map. We've got 4 more to go. We're about to jump into Bernal. And Jerry, on Bernal, are there any other spots that are like the Sector 6 hospital?
It feels like on the standard issue, not quite so much. There are a couple of strongholds. You can think about the corners of the map, particularly that sort of Colosseum area and those vantage points that you can get to hold on to it. But basically, because this is a much more lateral map in general than Fortune Stadium, those vantage points don't exist. You don't have those chasms that people have to traverse. There's always some route through a building. Maybe some of these streets around the cathedral are a bit open, more open than the rest of the map, but in general you're always going to have a way to get where you want to on the standard issue map. Well, when you go into suspended structures, it gets a little bit more difficult, so we don't see that very much in pro play at all, in fact. So thankfully we now get to watch Folin crack out the double deagles, and I love this diamond skin as well he's got on. I can't recall the exact name of it in game, but I love to see it whenever it comes out, and it matches his lovely gloves, his sort of, well, these like exoskeleton gloves. They're such a good combo.
That's a clean setup there. Over the other side, we see Aimers and Vatican going at it yet again. Vatican removed from the lobby early on. Gamblers, they're finding themselves actually able to kind of bob and weave out of Pulsar's shots. And right now, Pulsar are in control of the cash, but they're not in control of the fight. Lasky goes out early, and with that pick, they also are going to have that traded out as Koreki is taken away too. But for Gamblers, this is honestly looking a little bit better. They need to figure out where they can find a telco. But as they hold on for dear life to, it's a Lasky's trophy. Lasky's just going to coin in thanks to that defender respawn coin. Koreki, still a few moments left. He is finally getting res here. The fight will continue.
In case you're wondering what that's about, of course, when you're defending, you do have a better respawn timer than usual, so you are favored if you're trying to hold a point. Devil's Work taking out Perzon, shot in the back there, a bit of assistance from Folin, and now Gamblers are deathballing their way through. They are moving as one. They have another in their sights here. Folin losing contact with the rest of his team, but it doesn't matter because Devil's Work is able to track down a telco. Last person is Lasky, defending the cash out by himself, but this goo is going to make things very difficult for him. He doesn't have anything to open up above the sightlines. Of course, Light's very light on destruction capabilities, so he's just going to wait for his team to come back in. They possess the firepower needed to try and retake this, and in fact, Lasky opens up the affair here with a kill onto Devil's Work. He can almost make it 2, but Koreki just about escapes with his life. Unfortunately, though, for Gamblers, it's a 2 versus 3 holding onto this cash out, with Pulsar very quickly surging back in.
Absolutely. I mean, Aimers, they're just uncontested over to that sideline here. Pulsar, they will do their absolute best, but now Gamblers, they're here to stop it. A great stall there using the DMAT and the winch there. Pulsar going to try to get the fight in, but Gamblers, kiting is the name of the game. They're going to be kiting up at the top. They jump head over. Now they're fighting up from above. The winch misses, so Pulsar can stick the steal. That allows Lasky to take out Folin immediately. Koreki going to be able to get the res, but what's going to happen now for Gamblers? They have to win the fight and steal. There's only about 15 seconds remaining. Over on the other side, things are heating up, but right now, Gamblers, they're actually winning the fight, but still, it's all about stall. It's Helco. He goes down. Did they get the steal? That is the biggest question. Do they have the time? They got it!
Yes! Unbelievable from Gamblers. I thought they'd squandered their chance. They went in for that first steal. The miss switch was bad, but not getting any kills in the follow-up was even worse. Somehow, they clinch it. We couldn't even tell because of all the various UI elements going all over the place. We couldn't tell if there was enough time left on that steal. It really was as tense as it was for us as it could have been. Gamblers somehow, last second, it's almost their trademark, getting that flip. Pulsar Esports will feel hard done by. They fought very well there, but didn't do enough. On the other side of things, we saw Vatican Esports, in fact, claim their cash out, beating out Aimers in the one meaningful fight that they managed to claim. And so it's the big hitters in the group that are sluggishly lagging behind as it stands.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're looking to see Gamblers take early control here, but as we always know for Gamblers, that early control doesn't necessarily guarantee much. Now, cash out's still up at the top. Gamblers rotate out to the side, but Aimers have already figured out exactly what the play is, where they're coming from. Now, this dome up from the top is going to allow a nice little head glitch, but see what happens. Devil's Work gets caught out. SA-1216 only gets one chance to chunk. RPG doesn't even connect all the way. He's going to stay alive. Fallen now. Going to be the next target there, but it's Koreki that goes down first. Devil's Work finally gets the reset on his health. Fallen goes down, and Devil's Work is removed.
Raimka's damage output in that fight must have been hilariously high because he took at least 2 of those players down to within an inch of their life. was happy to change targets during that, knowing that it was better to lay in thick damage on other players and let his teammates do the cleanup job, because that is his role. He's not there to land a couple of shells on a low HP target. He wants to output that damage. Really nice move by Reimka, showing why he is one of the best heavies around. We can see now at Vatican Esports trying to go for steal under Pulsar Esports watch, but that winch causing problems, and now he can get the kills. Lasky taking out Double O. Curzon wins his one against Evolution. Easy, where is he? Who knows? Lasky knows.
Lasky knows. He found it out, and once again, you got Pulsar and Aimers in control of the caches, but Gamblers, they've decided to try their luck on the other twin. With the Telco in their sights, the Gambler is going to be jumping over to cash out D. Lasky takes the first shot, but he's able to escape with his life and the knowledge that this fight is going to be coming in from the southeast. Right now, Gamblers trying to work their way into the building without getting chunked out here. As that damage trades through, Pulsar knows they could just kite around the sidelines. They got enough glitch barrels and enough util to hold this out for as long as they need. Aimers secure on their cash out. They're also going to come over here and get involved. As Aimers secure their 12K, they're now here to see what they can do to cash out D.
So these cash outs start to narrow the standings a little bit unless Gamblers can pull off yet again another last minute heist against Pulsar. Pulsar will be reeling after that first attempt. Foden lands an RPG, but not enough damage onto his opposite number. Does find a target though, but the acquisition is there. The aim is not. The Telco finishes him off. He's then felled by Kiriki, but the timer has elapsed. The opportunity missed. Kiriki and Devil's Work leave with their tails behind their legs. Lasky left to pick up the pieces of Pulsar. They might be a little bit late to the next Vault fight, but they'll be happy to have claimed that first place.
Oh yeah, Vatican, early control over Vault 5, but it does fall a bit short of the Isolt Hotel. We see them finally get that plug, much needed, as Aimers. Roma's going to be able to come back in after his quick scouting party, and they have control over Vault 6. We see Gamblers making their way to the Isolt Hotels to fight Vatican. That means we're getting Pulsar versus Aimers on Cash Out B. This is going to be a juicy one. We see this fight start to take shape here. We'll come and check back in on this later because we've got the twins finally going head to head. It's going to be a Telco taking the first shots all the way across. Felix dodges and weaves. Right now, Aimers, they just need to play or the defensive hold.
It's taken time for this to happen. We haven't seen it all first map. We've seen these fights play out very carefully before, methodically even. Now comes that gateway, and that is some brazen moves from the whole of Pulsar Esports, really committing to that. And look at the damage that Elix can output. Unbelievable from him. Actually, I mean, very believable. It was simple.
I mean, hey, I will say, with Aimers, potentially having a coach could be creating a difference up against Pulsar.
Oh.
See now, as Gamblers are currently winning their fight up against Vatican, Ializi stays alive, gets one onto Folan, but he's going to run away, trying to play for the life. But Gamblers, they've got other plans. They're going to be able to finish that off. That means that their cash out is all up to them. Vatican, even though they respawn in 18 seconds, they won't have enough time to come back into that. Leaving cash out B is their only option. That means that for Aimers, it's going to be a lot easier to stay kiting here up against Pulsar's next push, which could get interrupted by a third party at any moment.
Take two here for Pulsar, of course. We have Pike on Overwatch. Curzon leading the charge down. Him and Lasky wanting to find a pick. This is such a close formation here for Aimers. They're leaving it up to no chance at all with that DMAT and the jump pad. Going to delay the first attempt, but still about 30 seconds on the clock here. They have to get the wipe. There's a good bunch of damage outputted by the heavy, but Elix is there to support Reimka. Reimka finding yet more impact as Roma claims Lasky. Now it's down to Curzon in a 2 versus 1, but Elix is still alive and on the point, and he's got so much HP to play with. His opposition do not. He wins the 1 versus 2, and he holds on to the point. Brings back Reimka. That is a first place finish for Aimers. Gamblers claim second place.
Wow, another big up. Actually, the first big upset for today, given the fact that Pulsar did not at second. Gamblers on their sidelines. I mean, this is what we're talking about, right? The moment that Pulsar versus Aimers starts to happen, it's going to allow the opportunity for Gamblers or Vatican to take that second place position. That's exactly what we just saw here. Well, I mean, I gotta say, Aimers, they definitely earned their right. 19 kills on the board as well. 119 points in just one game. Absolutely wild.
Yeah, hugely deserved as well. We saw them just put to bed any team that came their way. Gamblers doing well, it seemed as well. That was a nice performance from them. We didn't catch quite as much of their action in the latter stages there. Of course, we have to assume that they fended off Vatican Esports quite well. But Vatican Esports didn't, they didn't lie down. They got some good stats on there as well. So it's a very even lobby when you look at it. But like you said, it's kind of defined here by the fact that those final fights were between the top teams and then between the bottom teams. So that is why Pulsar have maybe dropped a ball here.
I mean, you know what, though? At the end of the day, it's still good finals action that we are bringing out here. And to be honest with you, Bernal's pacing is very, very similar to the likes of which we see on Las Vegas, which is where we're headed to next. And now, traditionally, Las Vegas has been Pulsar's best map. It's also been Aimer's best map. And of course, it's also been Gambler's best map. Now, well, I'm not saying that it's going to be a crazy time out here, but this genuinely could go any which way when we reach Vegas.
Yeah, all bets are off, quite frankly. And we have had a bit of a meme saying this is Gambler's map. They aren't always in a lobby with Aimers and Pulsar. That's kind of, it's just the way it's laid out today. So, yeah, Vatican Esports are going to be praying. As they should, because they're heading to a city of sin, and it's going to be so difficult for them up against these teams here. So far, they finished 3rd and 4th, Vatican, and I know I've been kind of peddling the underdog story throughout the day. We had Team Extreme, we had Bad Wi-Fi, all these teams kind of punching above their weight a little bit. This feels like the hardest one of all of them, and it feels like the one that straight up isn't going to happen. It would surprise me the most if Vatican Esports can come out with a win in this group. That said, Pulsar Esports, we actually have to go back 2 whole Playdays to find the last time they won a map. So, they need to lock back in. They no longer have the excuse of a sub. They are back to full strength, and they have to get one over on Aimers. It's almost their main goal for today.
100%. And I mean, given the fact that the next week, as the groups are shifted yet again, it's going to be a very uphill battle for a lot of these teams. For right now, though, we'll be seeing as this first vault is spawned. You see Vatican actually, instead of fighting for the vault, they're headed over to cash out A to get some early control. But Aimers, they have a similar idea. Vault 1 spawns very close, so they know that the more important fight is going to be early control towards that cash out. And already, we see Double O get taken away from his wife and children as Elix finishes the shots.
Vatican Esports just suffering from a bit of disconnection there. Not in the internet sense, but in the teamwork sense, as we saw, the early dome shield going out, and I'm barely commentating this fight because it feels as though Vatican Esports have lost it before it even began. They spent their dome shield. They had their light picked off, separated from the rest of their team. It made it so easy for Aimers to come in and clean up. Gamblers, on the other side of things, have bested Pulsar Esports and gotten the steal on Cash Out B, who are already 30 seconds into both objectives. Very synchronized points. They're not desperately far away from each other, both on the same halves of the map. So a lot of options here for the teams that want to go for these points. We have Vatican Esports spawning back in closer to A, and Pulsar spawning closer to B. We may well have a good old-fashioned pair of duels here.
Oh, absolutely beautiful. Something you love to see for sure, but getting started, crossing that gap is going to be what could be the difference maker for Pulsar, should they manage to do it in a way that pulls gamblers where they want them. Now, they are going to be faking them out. They do manage to pull them across where they want them. And it looks like Pulsar has all the info they need to get started. And with an early removal of Kireki, it's going to be no defibs available for a quick reset. Devil's Work goes down, just down to Fallen now, who can choose to play life, play stall, or just let it happen and play for the coin.
Gamblers left only with Foden, and he decides not to stall, not to play for the coin. Kireki, in fact, coins back in, as does Devil's Work just afterwards. But now they're staggered. Foden is going to be left waiting. And in fact, Gamblers coin in because they sense an opportunity to third party. That's an interesting strategy here with both Vatican Esports, well, Vatican Esports actually having been wiped here, so they have the opportunity here with only Elix left. Maybe this was an excellent call from the light and the medium on the side of the Gamblers. They only have this 2 versus 1 to win, but now they have to commit someone to the steal. It's effectively a 1 versus 1. The DMAP will come above from Elix. Can he target Acquire quickly enough? Bursting down.
He does!
And it's enough. Just about out DPSing the heals from the Infuser. Not easy to do, but if it's all headshots, it's possible.
Absolutely wild to see. Elix just very narrowly make that work. And I mean, it just goes to show that was genuinely an aim duel there. The headshots coming in. If there was a single less headshot, then I do believe that that the H+ Infuser would have just kept him alive for the steal. Crazy stuff there. Pulsar and Aimers up at the very top to absolutely nobody's surprise. But Evolution picks up a Telco early on in this next fight. See who comes to control these next vaults.
I'm just seeing the love in chat, and I have to appreciate it. Thank you, guys. It does
you,
not go
chat.
unnoticed. Anyway, we are going for Vault 4. Aimers and Gamblers. It seems like we're being starved, teased of the Aimers versus Pulsar action we really want to see. But at the moment, Gamblers are really putting up a fight. They've taken down Ireka. They've taken down Elix. Now there's only Roma left. And he's gone as well. Devil's Work wins the fight against his opposite number. Wow. That is not in the script. Aimers have been the stronger of the two sides on the left side of your screen, and they have been put to sleep there. Pulsar, in the meantime, have gone ahead with their plug over on C, but they are being pressured here by Vatican Esports. The steal is successful, but I don't think Vatican Esports are in a great spot here. They're being surrounded, swarmed by the remaining players on Pulsar, who are finding their shots. Telco very close to finishing off. Is this for Evolution? Yes, it is. Yeah. There we go. Shoot him in the booty while he falls off the building. Style points all round. And now there's only one left. He's wearing a cardboard box, but it's not enough to protect him.
Yeah, crazy stuff there. I mean, Evolution sat in the back and let 2 players from Pulsar run past him so we could shoot them in the back, but he didn't finish the last shot onto Persian, and then it just got away from him there. As Telco hit those shots a little bit better. You see now Aimers are trying to come in control of current Gamblers right now, and oh my goodness! Aim is crispy as Koreki goes down, so does Devil's Work. Once again, it's up to Fallen. Elix stays alive. He has to go for the defib here. He hits it. Roma going to be chasing in, trying to finish off the heavy, but they've got enough time to steal this cash out as it stands. That being said, Koreki and Devil's Work are going to be able to coin in immediately, allowing them to come back to form early on. Fallen still tracked out by Roma. He knows exactly where Fallen's playing from. The whole team's going to dive in together. They do it all at once, and that's going to be Roma finding the first one. Rankit can't finalize the kill, but Roma can. Elix gets the last. That's going to be Cash Out D, staying in control of the Aimers.
Renka giving him his life there for the positional advantage, separating that team that were deathballing away from the point. Really smart stuff there. And Folin being a little bit less trigger happy on that commit made a big difference there. The Gamblers able to resurge, but it still didn't work for them. We have now Cash Out C almost completed by Pulsar Esports. They only have ILEZ to deal with. Yet again, the lone heavy. Herzon picks up all 3 kills against the Vaticans. And it looks as though the hierarchy has been re-established a little bit here, RRD. We've got Pulsar and Aimers way out in front ahead of the final wave of Cash Outs.
And with 2 grand as well in between them, it's going to be down to a little bit of a kill race right now for Pulsar and Aimers. I mean, right now, both teams are still going to be worried about making sure they can maintain the plug. But for both of them, this last cash out is definitely going to be theirs to play with. Gamblers, they're going to open up Vault 5. Vault 6, on the other hand, Aimers seem to be in control first, unless Vatican has something to say about it. Pulsar moving in to fight Gamblers. Aimers fighting Vatican. First shots opening up on both sides of the arena. But it looks like Pulsar has the gateway set and ready to go, while Gamblers are trying to set up on the cash out early.
Have that gateway, of course, like you say. Moving it over to A, but up in the air. Very easy shots for Gamblers to land. But Lasky finds his shots on the Devil's Work. That wasn't expected. Gamblers now a man down, and that totem unreachable. They witch it out into the open after getting the plug. Put some goo down for cover. Person maybe a little bit separated from his team. In fact, all of Pulsar Esports sort of jumping about here in a bit of panic. They don't need to be, as Gamblers have retreated. As we get the lovely wonky camera bug. I love it, one of my favorites. And
I mean,
they can reestablish
Pulsar is
themselves.
set. Yeah, Pulsar is set here, but Gamblers, they actually have to work on getting that trophy or finding the white because Devil's Work, he's used both coins here. Not a situation that happens often here in Pro Hubs, but they are able to take the trophy away, and they decide it's going to be third-party central over towards the Aimers side of the arena. But Roma, he's going to say, hey, we'll finish this fight first and give ourselves a little bit of time. Now that they've gotten the kills, they need to be very, very certain at what's going to come next.
Does the steal even matter? Look at the money, right? Like, obviously, Pulsar and Aimers are going to be fighting for first and second, but Gamblers are so far behind, they would just about clinch a place if they stole. Of course, if they steal, they're probably going to get some kills on the way. Vatican Esports are basically fighting for third here with about a minute left. And it's just a question of whether Pulsar or Aimers are going to be able to hold on to it and which targets Gamblers and Vaticans go for.
I mean,
like
Gamblers and Vaticans are going for B. This could be good for Aimers because they need the kills in order to come to the top of Pulsar right now. Pulsar not going to be granted those kills, but as Gamblers turns heel, actually going to be choosing to not get involved anyway. See what happens now. Vatican taking early shots there. Elix, Ramke, and Roma all set up at different places. A very coordinated approach. The cash out gets winched away. Question is everybody ready for what's to come next? A great setup there, but Ireleezy, he's the last alive, and all of that work for nothing as Aimers just collapsed in from the back. But now here's Gamblers. Here's where the kills can come into play. Pulsar knows it. Pulsar knows the third party's there. Pulsar is about to be involved too. Gamblers shots into the back, but Lasky's the one that finishes off Ramka. This could be huge. 18 seconds left on the clock. More than enough time to steal. Gamblers, they're on the point now. Gamblers are stealing, and this could be everything. Roma tries to come back. He gets the kill, but the steal, it's going to come to fruition anyway. Atelco gets the shots, but wait, the steal did not happen. Aimers still holds the cash.
No way! And that is it. Aimers ahead. Just by a hair. They managed to contend with the kills. They kept pace against Pulsar, who did come in for some at the end. Wow. Such exciting stuff at the end. Even though it was almost written on the wall, they still find a way to make it exciting, these two teams.
Absolutely incredible. And I mean, you know, for Pulsar, they have had such a difficult run today, just given the fact that they are trying to compete with the Aimers team, who is just brand new in season 1 to being as good as they are. A team that honestly did great stuff during season 0, but has started to come up in new ways, and all these new tactics and new strategies. I have to ask the question, completely unbiased, is there a gap with coaches in entering the final scene?
You're going to keep saying this. But there is a genuine gap because, of course, as the year ends, you're going to want that extra firepower in your team, and having people behind you does make a massive difference. Of course, with Ords coming in, that's going to be starting to be filled. You know, there's all these sort of things that are going to start to grow. And, you know, there has been a massive gap in the market for analysts in this game. And I'm really glad to see them starting to be filled because it will make a huge difference. It gives teams that competitive edge. And we can see it today. Aimers, whether it's by domination or by the skin of their teeth, have won every map today. And that's in no small part to the prep that they have done. So, Pulsar are keeping pace, it has to be said. Second place for them is an improvement of sorts, but they still are hunting for this first place finish that they haven't now done in, 9 maps over the past 2 Playdays? Yeah. They really, really need to start finding a way to win.
And I mean, it's been a difficult road ahead, but for all these teams, they have to contend not only with the other teams that are in their lobby, but they also have to think about that leaderboard. Start to think about that standing. Who is your real enemy? Is it the guy that's all the way up at the top of the leaderboard, or is it the guy that could knock you down into the unsafe territory towards the bottom? And so figuring out not only how to play the best finals, but how to play the best overall meta, how to play in every single situation that you're in against certain teams. Do you choose different weapons? Do you choose different approaches based on what you know from these teams? There's so many things that goes into it. But I mean, I gotta say, in the last few maps that we've seen, I've been seeing a lot of really good work from Gamblers to take advantage of those situations. We saw them actually being pretty indecisive towards the end there about whether or not they wanted to fight Pulsar or fight Aimers, given what had happened in their previous fight. But that indecision was sort of a mistake on my part in reading. What they were doing was waiting for the exact moment to strike in after Vatican would make their strike. And so I just have to say that it's good to see teams that are really coming to form in the overall gameplay of not only the finals, but also the Pro League itself.
Yeah, they understand the macro and then the macro of the macro. It's super important in this format. And Gamblers have been doing it very well throughout the whole season. They are a very capable team. They find themselves in the lobby with two extremely big hitters, and they are adapting well to that new challenge, to that new threat. They just need to maybe step it up a notch and find that, you know, an extra fight here or there could put them in those top 2 positions. But for the time being, they've only got that 1 second place finish under their belt. They'll hope for a first, of course. Everyone's coming in to win these games. Not a single team doesn't back themselves. We can see on the other side of things, Telco and Lasky winning their fight, but back to a 2 versus 2. Lasky again puts it back into a 2 versus 1, and it looks like a win. Almost Renka just clinging on to life. Oh, and down he goes. Pulsar Esports win that fight. We tune in here with Kiriki already down, Folin already down as well. The double barrel comes in and makes light work of Evolution. Devil's Work loves this weapon when he can flex onto it. Double O, though, is actually the winner overall. He takes down the remaining light there. I didn't expect that.
Double barrel versus double O. Looks like double O actually had the upper hand. But yeah, Ireleezy going to be able to finish off the res on Evolution as well. And Vatican, nice recombine. As Pulsar over to the CNS side of the map. They've got Cash Out B well underway. It's Vatican. They get the plug onto Cash Out A with Aimers early in tow.
Roma just scouting right now, of course. Part of the job of the light. You can get in and out quite quickly. He does spot that gateway, of course. Deals with Ireleezy very quickly. That is some impressive burst damage against the heavy. A bit of an assist there from behind as well as he finishes off double O and collects the kill on Evolution as well. Now, it wasn't a one-man show, but he did fill the kill feed with his name, and you love to see it.
Oh yeah, it's some great stuff coming through at the moment, but as Vatican gets their cash out ripped away from them, you're looking over to see Gamblers versus Pulsar yet again. Gamblers, they've been working on this approach all day. We're on map 4 now, and they've had a lot of time to figure out what Pulsar is doing. Of course, aim of the game being kiting, making sure that when they get that steal, if you can commit, go for it, but most likely you're not going to be able to. But given that, looks like they gambled wrong on the approach. The Devil's Work and Fallen not being in a position to clap in on Pulsar's movements. Pulsar over the side, they are going to be hiding around to the upper part of the building yet again. The Gamblers are in a really good spot to try and take this fight early, but the RPG sends Devil's Work's health towards the bottom of the bar. We do see now Pulsar. They're just continuing to buy time, continuing to measure this approach. But for now, Gamblers just doesn't know what to do until Koreki comes in. Oh,
yeah, I feel like they didn't have enough time really to wait. That is the call that they made. And now Folin goes in. He's taken down. Trey's out against Perzon. And the moment, Telco trying to stick that steal, or rather, Lasky trying to stick the res. Doesn't matter because the timer has worked in their favor, but now it's only a Telco left up against the remaining Gamblers. Gamblers really just waited too long to pull the trigger there, but we still have 10 seconds left here for Aimers to try and fend off what's left of Vatican Esports. And what's left is Ireleezy, who backs away and is taken out by Roma. That's 2-0 when it comes to Aimers versus Vatican Esports. And most importantly, the cash going the way of Pulsar and Aimers so far, once again separating the big from the small.
I am so surprised at this result. I was, what does this say? Oh, not expecting this. Sorry about that. We jump back over to see Gamblers. Actually, taking an early pick on Roma. Could be huge opportunity right now to take early control of the vault. Of course, Gamblers, they do a little bit better when that vault is in their control early. Elix trying to run away here, but that double barrel is close. He actually manages to escape, but not before Koreki finds a shot. Of course, being chased down by everybody here. We see Ramka and Roma trying to withstand and overcome, but Koreki's shots are just so on point here. And bullying out works out quite well for Gamblers. Actually going to be able to deal just enough damage to, well, they're running away before Vatican gets involved too. And the gateway, wait a second, Gamblers, they have something up their sleeve. Do they have control of this vault? Oh, no, it's stolen right off the back by Aimers.
Sneaky moves there. Gamblers making a good call to separate themselves from the chaos of the third party, but losing control of the box in the process. Easy finding massive value there before going down, and Folin left last one standing. He does find double O. Evolution, though, is still a problem. Where is he? Far afield, it seems, as he coined in to prevent the long wipe timer. Folin has to try and rescue his teammates. He does have the winch off cooldown, but he's going to land the shots regardless. That is a kill onto Evolution, who cannot output enough damage in enough time with that repeater. Folin is still taking flak from range, though. He cannot catch a break, and Lasky will finish him off. Pulsar just there to poach on a final kill.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at this. Aimers just jumping in and Pulsar jumping in to say, hey, we need more kill points. There's just a kill race up at the top. But for now, Gamblers and Vatican, they're both going to be able to respawn. Both of them will be closer to one particular cash out. We'll wait to see where they decide to go. And again, playing for that meta, will they just decide to third party or just go for the fight? Looks like at this point, Vatican just says, you know what? God's will, we spawn here. We're going to go for the closer one. This is what was intended.
It really is such a close fight between Pulsar and Aimers right now. Aimers, or Pulsar rather, pulling just ahead with 2 kills. But it really, like, they've plugged every vault and they've gotten every cash out and they haven't been stolen from. So it is absolutely level pegging besides those kills. Person adds to the tally for Evolution to put more distance between them and their opposition. And then he has the seconds. Easy just feeding them. At this point, Aimers are like, come on, Vatican, put up some kind of a fight here. Gamblers coming in now to try and challenge the Aimers. And Aimers actually taking a bit of a beating here. Raincoat going down. It's 2 versus 2. The double barrel from Devil's Work isn't enough, though. You have to really land both of those shots to have the impact you want. Everyone on Aimers now back up to full strength. And Gamblers looking for a second wave.
Oh, but Gamblers, the early shot's going to come through. They will be able to withstand and overcome. Moving over to the sides there. Kureki trying to make their way in. But for Aimers, they're just playing the kite game. They're just holding off the side. There's no way for Gamblers to come in. And I think Gamblers have fully decided it's not worth it. They jump out. Raincoat going in for the love of the game. He's going to get traded through. But now the fight on the street there. It's going to be quick work there. Elix, last player standing for Aimers. Kureki, last player for Gamblers. Going to be a straight medium duel here. And it's going to be Elix that comes out on top immediately with the defib, bringing back the other trophy. Finally, some kills going away for Aimers. But Pulsar, they're so stable. Farming Vatican to the other side. Pulsar also in control of the vault, already headed to cash out B, but Vatican, they want to get some early control. They need to get a plug in order to guarantee that third place, if nothing else. But see if they're going to be able to do so as Pulsar is ready for this fight. The pad is ready. The RPG goes up, and already the damage goes down. The heal beam isn't going to be enough there as Vatican is reduced to just Evolution standing.
And down he goes. There we go. Lasky finally takes him out. And of course, Pulsar will have known that they need this plug to keep pace. It's exactly as I said. They've gotten every single plug, every single cash out between Pulsar and Aimers so far this game. And in fact, the fight between third and fourth is just as tight because it's just coming down to kills. So whether any of them can land a steal and get a bit of extra money in their pockets will remain to be seen as we enter the final minute and 40. Gamblers closing down. Folin, Devil's Work, Kureki have to get an execute working at some point here, but right now Aimers and Pulsar, they just have their numbers. It's like they're turning face. They're going all the way over for B, and honestly, for Aimers, they don't want this. They want to take some fights, so they're closing down on the other side of the map. They want to be full partying this and just hoping that A doesn't get stolen in the meantime.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, for now though, this is the best case scenario for Pulsar to be able to just pull ahead, given all of the fodder that's coming their way.
I don't know.
Person going wild on it, but let's see what happens. Misses the winch there, able to stay away, but Kureki finds one on a Telco, finds one on Double O as well. Gamblers actually looking phenomenally stable on this fight, but only 50 seconds remaining.
Sorry, Aimers have left one defending. This is the game right now. It's a kill race on this box. They're just assuming that no one's going to get the steal, but of course that is always a possibility. Pulsar Esports down to 2 players now. And there is an attempted steal coming out here from Vatican Esports. They are going for it. Raincoat right above. He needs to time his entry perfectly. He may have left it too late. That is the steal successful for Vatican Esports. Easy though, the last alive. Folin gets 2 kills onto Pulsar. Pulsar have wiped. And right now, this is looking incredible for Aimers. They have A in their control. B is under no circumstances going to be taken back by Pulsar. Aimers have the win.
They just let it happen. Amers just watched Vatican steal it, knowing that they just needed to make sure it wasn't Pulsar's cash.
Obviously, yes.
I love that so much. This is the second time we've seen this happen today as well. And like I said, these teams playing not only the finals, they're playing pro hubs. This is exactly what you love to see for the finals pro league, guys.
Wow. My brain could not comprehend that game state. I have not seen that in a very long time. Wow. Yeah, Pulsar and Amers playing a different game, basically. Playing a kill race against Gamblers and against each other with Gamblers and Vatican Esports as cannon fodder. At the very end, Gamblers and Vatican Esports throw in a wrench. They decide, you know what? We can't win a fair 3v3. We have to go in third party. And you gotta feel for Pulsar because they lost because of it. They lost exactly because of that. Oh, wow.
Actually wild to see. Just making sure that you're going to be stable. And again, 19 kills for Amers. Seems like 19, their lucky number.
Yeah.
As, well, they're just going to be, wait, is that 19 or is that 20? Chat math. It's 20. It is 20 kills. Okay. Chat math is not my strong suit, as I always say. But you know what? I got to say, for Vatican, I don't want to just say, you know, it was like fully on Vatican, like for making sure that last one was there. But even though they got third place, they definitely felt like they deserved a lot more. It's just so tough in this lobby. But Vatican was putting in work. They were winning fights, Jerry.
Yeah, but you can't get one steal at the end, do nothing throughout the rest of the game, and expect to get anywhere, right? It's not enough. There are limits to the comeback potential in finals. I love that it's in there, but that feels right. You know, they were like the chasm between second and third could not have been greater in this match, and it really was just that there was a third party at the end that knocked Pulsar down into second, or you know, kept them in second behind Amers. So yeah, that felt like justice in a way, that they didn't jump up into second with that final steal or anything crazy. Gambler's coming fourth though. That is the most toothless they have looked all day. I don't know if they won a fight, which is really rough.
It's all about that timing. And I mean, when it comes to finding where you are in the third party, getting the pinch at just the right moment is everything. And it felt like for Gamblers, right, they haven't quite figured out that pacing on the new map. But for the last map of EU for the day, coming to Cis Horizon. Kind of crazy that we're already here on map 5. It felt like Group C has gone so quickly.
Yep.
But looking to see that on this time around, Gamblers needs to find if they're going to lock in for the vault fights, they're going to lock in for the cash out fights. They want early control, if they want to steal, if they want a third party. Gamblers, this is your time to make the choice.
Vault 2 being met with Gamblers and Amers. They're going to take their time about this, try and find that way round. Kiriki has already taken a bit of damage, so they want to fall back, but Amers spy the opportunity. Coming in hot, taking out a lot of the health of the Gamblers, who are in constant defense mode. They cannot find anything. Devil's Work has been taken out. He's running around with the Dome Shield. He knows he's going to need it. C4 in hand. They get the defib up on Devil's Work, so battered, bruised, but not broken. Now Roma and Renka come in to break what's left of them. And that is a very quick fight. Eventually, it almost felt inevitable that Amers were going to storm through there. What didn't feel inevitable was Vatican Esports coming and getting the plug over on the side against Pulsar. I have missed... Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened. I had to double take.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's just really, really quick fights happening there. And that's what we love to see on the side of Vatican. You know, shoot for those guys. And hey, shoot for Lasky. Finds those shots. The Pike hitting hard. Revolution. Delco, though, quick on the res. Going to be matched immediately as well as Double O comes back up. Looks like Pulsar has the opportunity to get the steal. Steal. Going to come through. Kill, though. Does for Vatican as Delco is taken away. No medium, no paddles. Persians removed as well. Just down to Lasky. Could choose to fight, could choose to wait, could choose to wipe. No matter what, he's going to go down. Vatican comes back in control of Cash Out A over the campus.
Very smart movement there by Evolution, knowing that his teammates had located the 2 versus 1 to win that, so he decides to double back and try and find Lasky instead, who's always been a bit of a wasp. You never want to leave that light up late, so you want to collect that intel while it's fresh. He had an idea and he went with it. Great movements by Vatican, and it's gotten the better of Pulsar here. Aimers have their plug, and they're trying to close down on the Gamblers, who are going to jump on up into the building. They get an idea of where they're coming from, have that preset gateway as a way of creating a quick crossfire, should they need to. But it looks like Gamblers have decided to head over to Vatican. Of course, this has got to appeal to them as an easier target. Vatican Esports defending this point, and Pulsar Esports providing some pressure here as well. Gamblers, can they time their push smartly?
This is what we were talking about just a few moments ago. As Vatican is reduced just down to Ireleezy. See exactly who is going to be coming in control. Person go over the steal there. Oh, unfortunately, though, it gets dropped immediately. Roma finds a shot into Lasky. Amers is now involved, too.
Oh.
Why is Amers here now? Amers is everywhere all at once. Person go over the steal here, but it's going to be Vatican that is finally able to get a stall for their own point. Roma still going crazy. Finds a telco. Even though Pulsar is just down to a singular person upstanding, Vatican and Gamblers, they're trading out blows as well. It is chaos here on campus, and Reipke escapes with his life.
Genius decision making there by Amers, knowing that Vatican holding onto a vault is absolutely in their best interest. They come and they fourth party, they just send someone to target Pulsar. That's all it was. They just needed Pulsar to not get in on this first wave of cash outs, and it's worked perfectly for them. Of course, Vatican Esports right now have been in the thick of the action. They've gotten the kills. They are actually in first place ahead of Amers as it stands by quite a little bit. 1.5k. They've gotten a tap on the fourth vault. They'll fancy their chances here. They may sneak a win just by virtue of the pure macro targeting that is going on between Amers and Pulsar right now.
And to be honest, Pulsar, they're looking like they are a bit salty after that. I'm really expecting Vatican to have a much harder time this second one around. But hey, Gamblers, they did get the good timing we were talking about. Just wasn't for them. This time around, though, look at this. Fantastic timing. They're going to be pulled this away from Vatican. Oh, no! It's the perfect drop there. The DMAT, right when it's needed most, is Gamblers versus Vatican continues to strike out. Evolution takes out Fallen early on, but it was very, very close. Currently, Gamblers working to find out if they're going to get pinched out to the sides or not as new teams move in to make their mark here.
Yeah, it's absolute chaos here, as it often is in the finals. You see Double O trying to scramble, find an escape route, but he keeps spotting new players, new teams, new colors in his faces. Kiriki is the one that finally puts him out of his misery, but Vatican Esports left with only Ireleezy up, holding on to Cash Out D. He's bunkered himself down the bottom floor. Amers spy an opening, but now they're under pressure from Pulsar. Obviously, Pulsar do not want them getting anything here. Great shot there with the RPG to pin down Lasky with the assist from Roma at range. And now they can try and get Elix up and go for this drop to get the steal. But Ireleezy is still just scampering away, trying to keep himself alive in this. And in the meantime, Gamblers have spotted that Pulsar are trying a third party over here while they're defending a cash out. Gamblers are going to go for that cash out completely for free. Pulsar have been wiped.
Hey, they gambled correctly, but now it's time for Amers to try to collapse in on what remains. But for now, Amers, they're looking worse for wear. It's just down to Reipke here. He gets the pull. He gets the pull, the which it's going to work out. Vatican wiped out, but now Gamblers, they have the opportunity to get this wipe out here too. Gamblers in control of both. No, this wasn't written anywhere. This is not in the script. Reipke still trying to run away. Elix gonna be able to coin back in immediately. Roma, 5 more seconds. Reipke looking to try to figure out what the move is. They're gonna move over to cash out D. They're both being stolen by who?
Oh no, they're
Wait,
not. Only C
we
is
got
being
Pulsar
stolen.
taking C. Okay.
We don't have a UI element that
God.
determines the difference between like one steal happening at the same time. Anyway, Pulsar Esports taking that one down because it was only being defended by a single player from the Gamblers, and that's the heavier Foden who decides, yeah, it's not worth fighting for that. Pulsar Esports go back to reclaim their cash out after a bit of a chaotic second wave with all sorts of stakes across the lobby coming into play there. And it's left us with possibly the best climax we could have hoped for, Ardi. Everybody almost level pegging here for the final wave of cash out.
Everybody has gotten a cash out. This is what you want to see. This is the finals, and Amers starts off by taking out Arleezy. They take out all of Vatican early on, but even though Vault 5 is open, Gamblers, they're already set up on cash out A. Is Amers aware that this is a possibility in their current timeline? See what's going to happen now. Looks like they've scouted a little bit further. They know something's afoot. They're going to be able to get away. Roma somehow manages to escape with his life there. Vanishing Bomb signature for the team. Raimka takes out Poland. Roma takes out Kureki. Just down to one player left. And Gamblers wiped out too. Both Vatican and Gamblers have been erased by Amers prior to this cash out. Wild.
This cash out is way ahead of the pace as well, so we can expect that Pulsar may get the plug on 6 as they have that gateway preset, and that has helped close that timing gap as well slightly. Thankfully for them, because otherwise we might have had a horrible situation where they have to deal with 4 parties right at the end of the game. That being said, you know, that happened last match. It was a synchronized cash out. There wasn't any sagas, so anything could happen right here. Everyone has different motivations as we go into this final push. The main thing is Pulsar Esports are just slightly out in front in terms of the cash in pocket, so they stand to possibly come out and avoid their duck, get finally a first place finish across these 2 playdays. We'll have to see though, because Vatican Esports are providing some resistance, some pressure to their B defense.
Oh yeah, currently it's looking like Vatican has an upper hand in this fight. As soon as I say that, Person comes out the corner, take out Evolution. Person does finally go down here in the trades, but Lasky, he keeps Etelko alive. The H+ is infusing. It's just down to 00 now as Gamblers come involved, taking Arleezy, but will 00 stay alive? 1 HP? No, he's taken out. Gamblers, they're now involved. This third party is so well timed. Etelko gets taken away here. Gamblers, they're winning the kill race as far as I'm concerned. Lasky super low, his timer reset. Person running away, seeing if he can make the space. But for now, still needs to play on the stall. Is he in the right spot? Gambler's going to be stealing this. Etelko and Person, they're coming down, but will they hold?
Oh, the witch is in.
Oh, he saves
the
the
orbit. Unbelievable as Person. Surely his days are numbered, but no, he does manage to escape with his life. Gamblers hold on to all the cards now. They are going to win this if they hold firm. We can see that Vatican are going for a last-ditch effort on A, but I don't think they reach it and wipe and steal in time. So Pulsar have about 20 seconds here to get the kills on Gamblers and get the steal, but they're not even at full strength themselves. Etelko has to close his distance. Raimka is here to play spoiler, and he needs kills himself to get that first place finish if they want to overtake Gamblers. He's not going to find it though. Elix goes down. Gamblers, I think they've done just about enough to claim first place. I can't even do the maths on it. It's too close. I can't look.
It's too crazy. They have Gamblers. They take first place by just 4 kills. The kill race has been won, and this is a massive piece of work for them to be able to do that, because they have been fighting towards that cusp for so long, and especially in this lobby, they needed that extra boost. And for Amers and Pulsar, this is going to be leaving them further away in that top 3 that is so highly contended between the GOATs, Pulsar, Amers, and Saints 1. I'm very curious to see what the standings are at the end of the day, but look at these kills.
And
wait a second. That's Alex has no kills,
so
but
weird.
the rest 21 kills for the rest of Amers, and for Pulsar as well. I mean, only 8 kills on the board. A crazy match to say the least.
Wow. Well, the question was going into this, could Pulsar get finally a first place finish after 2 playdays? They couldn't even get a second there. That's a lot of second and thirds throughout the day. Really rough stuff for Pulsar Esports, who hope to be punching up, but they're really not. They're slipping, if anything. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of today we see Saints 1 overtaking them in that 4th place position. We'll run the numbers and we'll take some time to make sure it's all plugged in correctly, because of course kills do come into it in the standings. But wow. What a day, Ardy. What an absolute feast we've had. Amers and Pulsar have honestly delivered on the entertainment front, and it's just a shame because Amers were just that little bit better every single time.
Absolutely. I mean, I just gotta say, we are getting close to the end of the play days here. Playday 6 is gonna be on Saturday, but we have just been eating so
Oh, yeah.
good. I mean, this is the finals at the highest level. We love to see it, and honestly, already, like just through the last 5 play days, we've seen so much adaptation. So much has like come forward for what the meta really is, how these teams are gonna be playing, what the best way forward is for these teams, and I've been so surprised at the amount of doubles and third parties and not griefing, but for lack of a better term, just insane run-ins that these teams have been going for. And there's nothing else to say. It's just been insane.
And it's funny because a lot of people will look at this and think, oh, that's not competitive, that's crazy. But everyone has their justification for it. There's always a reason to go for those third parties. There's always a reason to go and grief and be like that one little guy who turns up and just targets a single team. We saw it at the start of that game with Aimers really reading the room and taking down Pulsar before they could steal from Vatican. It all makes sense if you dive right into it. When you're in the thick of it, you're the one player like, why is this happening to me? Why do I have to be the one that suffers? But it really does make sense. And look at the standings after today. The GOATs with 4 wins under their belt, but Aimers also 4 wins and only a 2nd place as a smudge on their record. Such a good day for the boys in blue. And these are the final standings. We do see a bit of shifting round. Saints 1 climbing up into 4th. Pulsar dropping into 6th. Always hungry going above them, in fact. So
Yeah.
was that just the points for today's playdate, or this is the total right now? So yeah, closing the gap on Pulsar is the main story.
This is the total.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, overall, I cannot believe it. So, I mean, we look at Aimers with 4 first-place finishes on the day, and that was just enough to keep them ahead of the GOATs. And for Pulsar, it's going to be a very difficult one, but I will say this. If we're looking at Playday number 6, we're looking at the overall standings. Chat, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a look ahead of what to expect on Saturday. Group A for Playdate number 6 is going to feature NDA, Aimers, the GOATs, and Bad Wi-Fi. An absolute wild setup for Saturday's Group A. Then we go to Group B, where we've got Gamblers, Always Hungry, Team Extreme, and 200 Books. This is going to be the middle of the pack at its absolute finest. We've seen so much good stuff from Team Extreme today, and if they can continue that, they could genuinely have an impactful finish coming into the end of the playdays. Then we'll look at Group C, where we've got Pulsar, Saints 1, Makeshift, and Vatican coming at it. And this is going to be the most hotly contested lobby outside of, obviously looking at Aimers and the GOATs, because Pulsar versus Saints 1, these are another 2 very highly contested teams, where Pulsar and Saints 1, look at how close their points are. This is going to be everything when you've got that 3rd and 4th position coming in. I'm so hyped for what's going to come out on Saturday.
So am I. Gamblers clearing some distance between themselves and Vatican as well today is massive. That cannot be understated, because we went into today with Gamblers in that 8th position, but Vatican very, very close behind. Gamblers had such a good day with that final win compared to Vatican, who obviously in the same group slumped hugely, lost out on a load of potential points. And that just gives Gamblers that security. Of course, in some ways, the bigger threat beneath them is Team Extreme, who have just had an incredible back half of this season. They essentially won Group B today. Huge climb in points. And on the final play day, there's, every possibility that they could jump forward and make their way into that upper bracket for the double elim in the regional playoffs. So there's still lots of moving parts to play for. And of course, very important to get good seeding in these playoffs as well, so that you don't have to come up against the big guns if you can avoid it. Pulsar Esports are in danger of dropping into one of those sort of dangerous positions themselves. So yeah, it's going to be a really exciting final day on EU. But of course, Ardy, we still have the NA play day to kick things off later this evening.
Absolutely. Just a few more hours, and then we will have the NA Playdate coming up. I want to once again give a huge shout out to our benefactor, Broxton, a.k.a. Crash, the VIA PR Chief Officer, who off-stream donated $1,000 into the prize pool for our contestants. And currently, prize pool is sitting at, let me go ahead and get the official number, I think 2,100 and some change. Not only that, but there's going to be even more added into that once we get the final numbers from what all of you beautiful chatters have put into our Twitch. Once again, as a reminder, every single sub, every single bit goes into the prize pool to support our players. And you can type !donate in chat to find out how to donate directly. But we are so thankful for all the support from Embark, from our community, from the chat. You guys are the reason that this is the most exciting pro event in the finals.
Yeah, chat's been popping off today as well. We've got a good shout out to them. Lots of raids as well. Thank you so much for coming on out and showing up in force as the finals esports just continues to grow and continues to get more impressive and entertaining as well. It really does feel like every day is such a highlight here on Pro Hubs. And yeah, I feel like I've run out of things to say, Ardy. There's so much that has been said and my brain is now empty. So, Ardy, have you anything to say before we close on out? Before we say goodbye, do you have any final words?
Nope. Bye.